Chapter 928. Now she could only look at Cripple Chen and hope that he would forgive her if he did something stupid again. Cripple Chen remained silent. His heart softened for a moment, but the villager's persuasion made him harden his heart again. If he really forgave Zhang Chuer today, it would not only be letting down his parents, but he would also become the biggest joke in the village. Anyway, he would not be able to live in the future. Zhang Chuer, that *tch must be punished. Seeing that Cripple Chen did not speak, Father Chen stood up and said to Cripple Chen, "Son, our Chen family can't have such a daughter-in-law. We can't have her." "Father, I know. I didn't say I wanted her." Cripple Chen replied. "Sai, this is a sin." Father Chen said and coughed a few times. Cripple Chen quickly patted Father Chen's back. "Father, how are you? Are you okay?" Cripple Chen waved his hand. "I'm fine. I'm just angry. I won't die." "Father?" Cripple Chen looked at his father with heartache. He felt that he had let down his parents. His mother stood to the side, wiping her tears. Even Cripple Chen couldn't say anything to comfort her. His heart was also very uncomfortable, but who could comfort him? "Father, how is Chuer? You deal with her. I'll listen to you," Cripple Chen said. The villagers on the side began to persuade, "Father Chen, this Zhang Chuer is too much. I think your family should just drown her in the pond." "Yes, drown her. This *tc should be drowned." "Father Chen, don't be soft-hearted. If she's drowned, we should all help her. Don't let a married woman bully our Shuelan villagers." Yes. We, the people of Shuelan village, are not easy to bully." Those who wanted to drown her were mostly women. Normally they did not like Zhang Chuer. Now that they had the chance, they would definitely torture her to death. Many people who liked to watch the fun also echoed in the middle. "Drown her, drown her." There were also people who felt that the punishment was too severe. They stood up and said, "Sai, although Zhang Chuer went too far, it's still a human life. Isn't it too severe a punishment to drown her in the pond?" "That's right. After all, it's a human life. Everyone makes mistakes. Just teach him a lesson. It's not good to kill him." "What's wrong with that? This bitch has done such a shameful thing. Does she still have the nerve to continue living?" "Anyway, if it were me, I wouldn't have the face to continue living. As for this *tch, it's hard to say if she has the face to continue living. Maybe he's thick-skinned enough to not feel embarrassed. Even so, we can't let him harm others. Sai, let's leave the punishment to Old Man Chen. It's hard for us outsiders to decide. Let's see what Old Man Chen has to say." The villagers' gazes fell on Old Man Chen. Old Man Chen pondered silently for a moment. In the end, he wasn't that ruthless. He looked at Zhang Chuer, who was lying on the ground and looking at him pitifully. For so many years, he had treated this daughter-in-law of his as his own daughter and loved her dearly. Old Man Chen sighed slightly and said to Lame Chen, "Then break her legs and send her back to her parents' home." This punishment was not light. In the future, Zhang Chuer would lie on the bed with half of her body paralyzed. Her days would be very miserable. Chapter 929. Zhang Chuer panicked when she heard that he was going to break her legs. She quickly begged Old Man Chen, "Dad, I beg you. Let me go. You can't break my legs. If I can't walk, how am I going to live the rest of my life? Dad, don't be so cruel. I'm still your wife, Dad." Old Man Chen stared coldly at Zhang Chuer on the ground. "Chuer, you know what's worse? Breaking your legs or drowning in the pond. If you're not satisfied with my method, then you can drown in the pond." Zhang Chuer shut her mouth when she heard Old Man Chen's words. She wasn't a fool, but compared to losing her life was definitely more important. As the saying goes, a bad life is better than a good death. If her legs weren't broken or if they were healed after she went back, she might be able to walk again. "Son, do you want to do it or should I?" Old Man Chen asked. Cripple Chen said, "Dad, let me do it." "Oh, okay. You do it," Cripple Chen said. He took a thick wooden stick and walked in front of Zhang Chuer. The onlooking villagers helped and held Zhang Chuer in place. Cripple Chen picked up the wooden stick and began to hit Zhang Chuer's legs. Miserable screams came from Old Man Chen's courtyard. Some villagers didn't dare to watch the bloody scene and quickly covered their ears and looked away. Some of them felt that Zhang Chuer deserved such a punishment. So they became more and more engrossed in the story. Zhao Yun'er couldn't stand the miserable screams, and Liang Jinxiao couldn't stand it either. Liang Jinxiao quickly said to Zhao Yun'er, Yun'er, let's go back quickly. The sound is really scary." Zhao Yun'er curled her lips. "Okay, Mom, let's go." Since she already knew Zhang Chuer's fate, Zhao Yun'er felt that there was no point in staying here to watch the show. When she went back, she had to hurry and cook, lest the men at home starve. It was not a coincidence that Zhang Cui was caught today. It was Zhao Yun'er's arrangement. He couldn't stand old Chen's family being kept in the dark by Zhang Cui. It was good that this B***TCH's shady business was exposed. The earlier the Chen family knew about this, the earlier they would kick Zhang Cui, this scourge, out of the family so that Zhang Cui, wouldn't bully them. As for this method, it was quite simple. Just like before, he asked Mu Lianfeng to scare Zhang Cui's adulterer, so that he would ask Zhang Cui to have sex with him. Then he asked Mrs. Nian to bring a few women to coincidentally bump into them. Naturally, this matter was exposed. Thinking about her plan, Zhao Yun'er felt a burst of joy in her heart. If the B***TCH didn't get punished by the heavens, then she would be the one to do it. On the way, Liang Jinxiao could not help but sigh. Zai Chui'er is really too much. The Chen family has always treated her well. How could she do such a thing? She was living such a good life, but now she has ended up like this. Zhao Yun'er forced a smile. Mom, some people don't have a conscience. They don't know how to cherish their fortune. Sai, you're right. People should know how to cherish things. After all, it's not easy to have someone who treats you well. Don't end up in the most miserable state when everyone turns against you. Zhao Yun'er took a deep look at her cheap mother. She didn't expect Liang Jinxiao to be able to say something like this. Chapter 930. It's nothing. Zhao Yun'er replied with a smile. It's nothing. Why are you looking at me like that? Seeing that Liang Jinxiao was conflicted, Zhao Yun'er smiled even more brightly. Mother, I just think that what you said just now makes a lot of sense. Ah, Mother, I'm just lamenting. I'm not someone who likes to reason. I know, Mother. Alright, let's hurry back. The two of them walked in the direction of old Zhao's house together. When they arrived at old Zhao's house, Zhao Wenhua was already pacing around anxiously in the courtyard of old Zhao's house. When he saw that Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Yun'er had finally returned, he finally heaved a sigh of relief. He hurried forward and said to Zhao Yun'er and Liang Jinxiao, Hey, why are you only back now? I'm so worried. If you didn't come back, I would probably have gone to Yang City to look for you. Seeing that Zhao Wenhua was so anxious, Zhao Yun'er explained, Father, something happened to us so we were delayed. Now that we're back, you don't have to worry. Something happened? What happened? Zhao Wenhua asked curiously. Just as Liang Jinxiao was about to explain, Zhao Yun'er pulled him back. Father, it's not a big deal. Zhao Yun'er was afraid that Zhao Wenhua would also be worried if she said it out loud. Zhao Wenhua nodded. That's good, that's good. We're all waiting for you. Father, let eldest uncle and second uncle continue to wait for a while. Mother and I will go and cook. It will be ready soon. Zhao Wenhua nodded. Okay. Zhao Yun'er and Liang Jinxiao unloaded the things from the carriage and went into the kitchen. Zhao Ping'er walked to Liang Jinxiao angrily and complained to Liang Jinxiao. Mother, why did you only come back now? I'm starving to death. Big brother Yuan is also starving to death. It doesn't matter if I starve to death, but don't let big brother Yuan starve. When Zhao Yun'er heard Zhao Ping'er's words, she was so angry that she almost vomited blood. She almost got into an accident today and might not even be able to return home. But Zhao Ping'er said something like that. Zhao Yun'er had rarely seen such a selfish and eccentric person who only cared about her and Qin Yuan. Liang Jinxiao frowned and said to Zhao Ping'er, Ping'er, didn't I tell you that I have something to do today? If I could come back earlier, would Mother and Yun'er want to stay outside? Mother. But you can't let big brother Yuan starve. He's already so skinny. If he starves, he'll be even skinnier. Liang Jinxiao sighed. She really did not know what to say about her daughter. Ping'er, don't make a fuss in front of me. The food will be ready in a while. You guys wait a little longer. Just wait a little longer. Zhao Ping'er pursed her lips. Okay then, Mother. You have to hurry up. Got it, Ping'er? Hurry up and leave. Liang Jinxiao's tone revealed some impatience and disdain. However, Zhao Ping'er was still too stupid and did not notice. After Zhao Ping'er left, Liang Jinxiao sighed. Now, as a mother, she was starting to despise her own daughter and thought that the sooner Zhao Ping'er was married off, the better. Zhao Ping'er ran over to Qin Yuan again and asked Qin Yuan eagerly, Big brother Yuan, are you hungry? What do you think? Qin Yuan rolled his eyes at Zhao Ping'er. He really could not be bothered with this idiot Zhao Ping'er. However, Zhao Ping'er just liked to stick close to him. Chapter 931. Got it? Qin Yuan replied impatiently. At this moment, he was indeed starting to grumble from hunger, and his stomach was growling non-stop. The reason why he was so hungry was not because his stomach was big and he could eat a lot. It was because he knew that he would definitely have good food for lunch if he helped out at Zhao Yun'er's house today. Not only could he eat a lot, but he could also eat well. Therefore he did not eat breakfast. This way he could save some food for his family. However, when he came to Zhao Yun'er's house, he went to help out on the land. Although he did not really do much work, he was still busy for a while. Once he started working, he had to use his strength. Once he used his strength, it was easier to get hungry. Therefore, after working for an entire morning, he was so hungry that he was grumbling. At this moment, he only felt that his stomach was very empty and very uncomfortable. He thought that after working for an entire morning, he would be able to eat delicious food when he came back. However, who knew that he would not even see a shadow of a person when he came back, let alone food. After waiting for a long time, he did not see Zhao Yun'er and Liang Jinxiao. Just when he thought that he would not be able to eat lunch, Zhao Yun'er and Liang Jinxiao finally came back. It was good that they were back. He just had to wait a little longer. The other men were also very hungry. Su Yukai and Guiguizhen did not say anything. Who did not have an emergency in their family. At most, they would just wait a little longer. However, Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui started to complain. Sai, we worked so hard to come back, but in the end we can't even eat a hot meal. Sai, this is so annoying. Zhao Wenhua frowned. Yun'er's eldest uncle and second uncle, Yun-er and Liang Jinxiao, did not deliberately not come back. Something happened. That's true, but we are still hungry. Brother-in-law, is there nothing else in your house to fill our stomachs? This. Zhao Wenhua thought about it and really did not have anything. Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui were a little disappointed. They originally thought that Zhao Wenhua would take out something good, but it turned out that there was nothing. Brother-in-law, Ping-er is about to get married. It won't be long before she gets married. You have to buy things like sunflower seeds, peanuts, candies and so on to keep them at home. When the time comes for the banquet, you don't have to buy all these things together. When the time comes, there will be a lot of things to do during the banquet. We won't be able to afford so many things in such a short time. It's better to buy everything in advance. Zhao Wenhua listened and noted it. Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui were right. Since they had to buy these things anyway, they might as well buy them in advance and keep them at home. Zhao Ping'er hurriedly replied, "Yes, father. You have to buy these things well. My banquet must be a boisterous affair." Must? You? Yes, father, I knew you were the best. When Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui heard this, they were overjoyed. If they could buy those things back, they would have a chance to eat some. To the villagers, these snacks were rare things. Not only did women like to eat them, but men also liked to eat them. Zhao Yun'er cooked a dish and hurriedly brought it to the table. The rest of the dishes were also cooked and brought over. Liang Jinxiao sighed as he cooked. Sigh. Ping-er is really too much. Zhao Yun'er asked Liang Jinxiao about Zhao Ping-er being immature and opening her mouth to ask for food the moment she came back. Chapter 932. Oh, Mother, maybe Sister Ping-er doesn't know how to. Zhao Yun'er replied weakly. Sai, what's going to happen to this girl in the future? She's such a big girl, she can't not know how to cook. Won't she be despised if she goes to other people's house? Liang Jinxiao muttered again. Hearing Liang Xiaojin's words, Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but want to laugh. Zhao Ping-er had always been lazy. Shouldn't her mother have known? If Ping-er could be more tolerant, we'd probably be eating by now. Sigh. There's someone to take care of the chores at home, but now there's no one to take care of it. Liang Jinxiao's words revealed a lot of helplessness. Zhao Yun'er knew that Liang Jinxiao was just complaining in front of her. Zhao Ping-er was really annoying. Zhao Yun'er never dreamed of relying on Zhao Ping-er to do things. Even if Zhao Ping-er was willing to do it, she might not necessarily let her. It wasn't that she didn't know what that woman was capable of. The food she made was probably worse than pig's food. Mother, it's good that Sister Ping-er doesn't cook. Father, eldest uncle and second uncle probably won't want to eat it. Liang Jinxiao sighed again. Well, that's true. It's good that Sister Ping-er went to her in-laws' house. With her in-laws' guidance, she definitely won't be as lazy as she is at home. Sigh, I hope as long as the family Qin doesn't drive her back. After listening to Liang Jinxiao's words, Zhao Yun'er felt that she seemed to have changed a little during this period. If it were in the past, Liang Jinxiao would definitely not have such a feeling. Zhao Yun'er and Liang Jinxiao sped up and casually prepared a few dishes. Lunch was soon ready. After lunch, Zhao Yun'er went back from the third house. The men rested for a while and then went to the foundation. Not long after Zhao Yuner went back, Mulan came over. The two of them chatted as they prepared breakfast. Mulan couldn't help but sigh. I feel that Mu Hin has been strange these 2 days. She feels a little uneasy. When I talk to her often, she can't hear me. It's as if she's thinking about something. Did something happen? Zhao Yuner asked with concern. Mulan shook her head. I don't know. He didn't say much when I asked him. Then Mulan sighed. This lass has always been like this. She likes to keep everything to herself and doesn't like to tell others. Since she doesn't want to talk, then there's nothing you can do. Sister-in-law Mulan, didn't you observe? Mulan shook her head. I have so many things to do every day. How can I have the time to observe her? Sigh this girl. All right, Sister Mulan, it shouldn't be a big deal. Otherwise she would definitely tell you. Yes. Mulan nodded, but she was still worried. The truth was similar to what Zhao Yuner said. It was not a big deal, but it was not a small matter either. In the past few days, Zhu Dainiu showed concern for Mu Hin every 2 to 3 days. His concern made Mu Hin a little nervous. If it was Zhu Sanlu, it would be fine. If she was perverted, Mu Hin could say it out loud. She would ask her brother-in-law to teach Zhu Sanlu a lesson. However, in the face of Zhu Dainiu's concern, Mu Hin felt that it was not appropriate for her to say it. From time to time, Zhu Dainiu would ask about her well-being, and then he would come to her side. He was very close to her, but he did not touch her. This feeling made her hate it even more. Chapter 933. Then she realized that something was amiss. Why was Zhu Dainiu even more attentive than her own daughter-in-law? They were both fetching water, but Madame Qi couldn't get Zhu Dainiu to help her. However, Zhu Dainiu was attentive enough to help her carry the water. He even kept praising her beauty by her ear. There was no point in doing this. How could he do such things and say such things? Because of this, Madame Qi would stare at her with jealousy every time she saw Zhu Dainiu fawning over her. Then she would hit and scold her, calling her a seductive vixen. Her elder sister and brother-in-law naturally didn't know about Madame Qi's insults, and Mu Hin didn't want to talk about it either. After all, Zhu Dainiu was different from Zhu Sanlu. Mu Hin was afraid, so her elder sister and brother-in-law fought with Zhu Dainiu because of her. Wasn't that equivalent to fighting with the entire family Zhu? The moment she arrived, the entire Zhu family was in a state of chaos. If word got out, she would be ridiculed to death. As long as Zhu Dainiu didn't do anything inappropriate to her, Mu Hin felt that she could just muddle along. As for Zhu Dainiu, she didn't have any feelings for Zhu Dainiu at all. Naturally, she wouldn't respond to his attentiveness. Of course, she didn't want to ruin his family either. It was normal for Madame Qi to be jealous and scold her. Most women would get angry. Sigh. Mulan sighed again. Zhao Yuner couldn't help but ask, Sister-in-law Mu Hin, what's wrong with you? Actually, it's nothing much. I'm just thinking about when the new house will be ready so that I can move in sooner. It's inconvenient for such a big family to be squeezed into one house. Zhao Yuner understood what Mulan meant and couldn't help but tease her. Sister-in-law Mulan, can I tell you that you look like you're not satisfied with what you want right now? Mulan was stunned. No, I don't think so. Ha, sister-in-law Mulan, is it because you haven't had sex with brother Eru for a long time after Mu Hin came here? This question made Mulan blush, but Mulan didn't deny it. It's been a few days. Eru and the others were busy working on the land. They were very busy, so they went to bed early when they came back. He would have fallen asleep before Mu Hin fell asleep. How would he have the chance to do that? Hearing Mulan's words, Zhao Yuner couldn't help but smile. Mulan's words clearly revealed the appearance of a woman who was not satisfied in a certain aspect. She had underestimated Mulan's needs in certain areas. However, it was understandable. In their 20s, this was the time when they were young and energetic. Their hormones were also exuberant. In addition, Mulan often received Zhu Eru's nourishment before. Now that it was suddenly cut off, Zhao Yuner joked. Sister-in-law Mulan, do you want me to find you a strong man to serve you? Mulan quickly waved her hand. No need. Aren't you harming me by doing this? Zhang Chui, was pitiful enough today. I don't want to end up like her. I have Eru and that's enough. It's okay if I don't do that. Haha Mulan, look at how nervous you are. I won't really find you a strong man. Zhao Yuner laughed even louder. I know. At this moment, Sanair suddenly ran over and anxiously said to Zhao Yuner, Daoda's mother, something happened to Daodu. Zhao Yuner's heart suddenly tightened. She quickly asked, what happened to Daodu? Chapter 934. Zhao Yuner's mind went blank for a moment, Then she hurriedly followed San Air. Daudu fell into the pond. How did he fall into the pond? She had told Daudu to be careful at the water's edge. Zhao Yuner was extremely anxious. She prayed in her heart that nothing would happen to Daudu. Mu Lianfeng had just died. If something happened to Daudu now, she didn't know what to do. Zhao Yuner ran in a hurry. Her feet were like the wind and even Mu Lan couldn't catch up with her. When she reached the pond, Zhao Yuner found that Daudu had already been rescued, but his face was ashen. Zhao Ping'er and Qin Yuan were standing beside him as well as Lu Lei who was dripping wet. From the looks of it, Lu Lei had gone into the river to pull Daudu out of the water. Zhao Yuner looked at Lu Lei gratefully. "Brother Lu, thank you." Lu Lei looked at Zhao Yuner apologetically. "Yuner, it's all my fault. I didn't have time to save Daudu." Seeing Daudu's situation, it wasn't optimistic. If they were a step earlier, Daudu would probably still be fine. They might not be able to save him now. "Brother Lei, thank you so much. You don't have to blame yourself." Zhao Yuner's lips trembled as she spoke. Then she began to perform mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on Daudu who was on the ground. Looking at the little person on the ground, Zhao Yuner's heart tightened. He didn't know if mouth-to-mouth resuscitation would work, but he didn't have any other methods. The people who came to see what was going on kept hiding. They were all shouting that Daudu had fallen into the water and drowned. The deaths of 10 people in the village wasn't a small matter, so the curious villagers kept running over to see what was going on. Zhao Ping'er watched from the side and said coldly, "This little bastard will definitely die today." Zhao Ping'er's voice wasn't loud, so Zhao Yuner didn't hear it. If she heard Zhao Ping'er say that, Zhao Yuner would definitely go up and slap her a few times. As for Daudu, although Zhao Ping'er was her aunt, Zhao Ping'er didn't think much of it. She didn't think that Daudu was her family. Seeing Daudu like this as well as Zhao Yuner's anxious appearance, he was somewhat gloating. Thinking that it must be God dealing with Zhao Yuner and Zhao Yuner, this little bastard. Daudu's words, Zhao. How could her own sister's child say something like this? Did she have any compassion at all? Actually, when Daudu fell into the water, Zhao Ping'er and Qin Yuan were at the side, but they didn't help Daudu. Firstly, it was because Zhao Ping'er didn't want to, and secondly, Qin Yuan himself was a little scared. He wasn't very good at swimming. What if he lost his life before reaching Daudu? After a while he saw Lu Lei come over. With a splash he jumped into the river and rescued Daudu. But when Lu Lei came over, Daudu had been struggling in the water for a while and had eaten a lot of water in his stomach. By the time he was picked up, Daudu had already fainted and was unconscious. Qin Yuan looked at such a pitiful child and suddenly felt a little guilty. If he had jumped in time he might have saved Daudu's life. But it was too late to think about this now. Qin Yuan snorted at Zhao Ping'er. "It's said that women are the most vicious. Zhao Ping'er, how can you be so cruel to your sister's son?" Chapter 935. In order to salvage her image in Qin Yuan's heart, Zhao Ping'er stuttered and hurriedly explained, "Yuan Gij, it's not what you think. I'm telling the truth. You don't know, but Daudu is Zhao Yuner's little bastard with another man," Qin Yuan said coldly. "If I remember correctly, Daudu is the heir apparent's child." "What little bastard? Aren't you afraid that the heir apparent will come back and cut your tongue?" The more Qin Yuan thought about it, the more he despised Zhao Ping'er. She was ugly, stupid, and vicious. Most importantly, she didn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. She was just like a retard. Compared to Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Ping'er couldn't even compare to Zhao Xinhui's finger. Zhao Yuner exerted all her strength to apply pressure on Daudu's chest. Lu Lei stood nervously at the side, wanting to see if Daudu could be saved. He was naturally looking forward to it, but Daudu's situation was really uncertain. The surrounding villagers all felt that Daudu couldn't be saved. Looking at Daudu's complexion, they knew that he had choked on a lot of water. Previously, the other children in the village were in the same situation as Daudu, but that child couldn't be saved in the end. Old Zhao's family also rushed over after hearing the news. Zhao Yuner was extremely anxious, but she forced herself to calm down. She couldn't be anxious. If she was anxious, there might really be no way to save Daudu. Zhao Yuner worked for a while. Finally, Daudu coughed violently and spat out all the water in his stomach. Seeing that Daudu was slowly waking up, Zhao Yuner's heart finally settled down. "Daudu, are you okay?" "Daudu?" Zhao Yuner asked anxiously. "Mother." "Daudu is fine, he's just a little uncomfortable," Daudu said as he coughed violently. "It's good that you're fine." Zhao Yuner touched Daudu's little face. Because of fear, her hands were still trembling non-stop. Mother. Dowdu thought that he wouldn't be able to see you again. Dowdu's little body was trembling in Zhao Yun'er's arms. It looked like Dowdu was also scared. Zhao Yun'er patted Dowdu and comforted him. Dowdu, don't be afraid. Mother is here. How can you not see mother's mother? Woo. Dowdu choked with sobs. It looked like Dowdu was scared out of his wits. Lu Lei said from the side, take Dowdu back. Give him a change of clothes and let him have a good rest. Zhao Yun'er agreed. The weather wasn't very hot yet and people who fell into the water were still cold. She had to make some ginger soup later to warm up Lu Lei and Dowdu's bodies. Zhao Yun'er was about to carry Dowdu back when Lu Lei stepped forward and said, Yun'er, let me do it. Dowdu's body is wet now. If you carry him you'll probably get wet too. Anyway, I'm soaked, so it's fine if I carry him. Zhao Yun'er didn't refuse and allowed Lu Lei to carry Dowdu back. The surrounding villagers were stunned. They thought that Dowdu couldn't be saved, but they didn't expect Zhao Yun'er to be so capable to save Dowdu. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, who would believe it? He's already choked like that, but she still saved him. Isn't that right? So many people fell into the water and couldn't be saved. That's right. Normal people can't save him. Chapter 936. It's normal that he can't be seduced. After all, Dowdu is the son of the heir. He's different from ordinary people. The son of the heir is the most common person in the family. He's not an ordinary person. Even the king of hell wouldn't dare to seduce a little heir. How magical. Dowdu is blessed by the heavens. The villagers chattered and talked about it, making it sound like it was a miracle. Zhao Yun'er didn't have such thoughts. Hearing the villagers' discussion, she hurriedly returned to her house with Lu Lei. After Lu Lei put Dowdu down, Zhao Yun'er hurriedly changed Dowdu's clothes. She couldn't let Dowdu catch a cold. Brother Lei, thank you so much for today. If it weren't for you, Dowdu would probably really... Zhao Yun'er didn't dare to finish her sentence. By the time she rushed over, it would definitely be too late. Lu Lei smiled and said, Yun'er, you don't have to be so polite with me. I just happened to pass by. Speaking of which, Dowdu's luck is still good. Brother Lei, go back and change your clothes first. Don't catch a cold too. I'll send the ginger soup over to you later. Lu Lei waved his hand. No need, Yun'er. There's no need to trouble yourself. Zhao Yun'er insisted. Brother Lei, it's only right. Don't say that there's no need. You're soaked in so much water. You must be cold. It's better to drink some ginger soup. It can warm your body. At least you won't catch a cold. After all, Lu Lei's body was so wet because he was saving Dowdu. If Lu Lei was sick, she would definitely feel bad. Seeing Zhao Yun'er's insistence, Lu Lei could only nod. Alright then. Yun'er, I'll go back and change my clothes first. Zhao Yun'er nodded. Zhao Yun'er went to the kitchen and cooked some ginger soup. She hurriedly sent it over to Dowdu. Dowdu was curled up in his bed, trembling violently. Come, Dowdu, have some ginger soup. Zhao Yun'er called out. Dowdu came over obediently. Okay, mother. Dowdu held the bowl and drank carefully. Zhao Yun'er warned Dowdu not to go to the river to play in the future. Such a thing happened, he might not be so lucky next time. When Dowdu heard that Zhao Yun'er would not be able to go to the river to play in the future, his expression became a little desolate. Zhao Yun'er stroked Dowdu's head. Mother can find something better for you. Dowdu looked up at Zhao Yun'er. Mother, is that true? Of course it's true. Why would I lie to you? When he heard Zhao Yun'er's words, a smile appeared on Dowdu's little face. After a while, Liang Jinxiao rushed over and asked about Dowdu's situation. After confirming that Dowdu was fine, Liang Jinxiao was relieved. When he heard the news about Dowdu, Liang Jinxiao was also frightened. When he rushed to the pond, Dowdu and Zhao Yun'er were nowhere to be seen. Only then did he know that Dowdu and Zhao Yun'er were back. At this time, Mulan and Sanair also came over. Mulan, Sanair just told me that when Dowdu fell into the water, your sister Pinger and your future brother-in-law were next to him. Sanair asked them to save him, but they ignored him. When Mulan heard Sanair tell her about this, she was simply stunned. So she immediately rushed over and told Zhao Yun'er about this matter. When Zhao Yun'er heard this, her eyes also sank. When Dowdu fell into the water, my sister Pinger and my future brother-in-law were next to him? Zhao Yun'er confirmed with Sanair. Chapter 937. Sanair was also very angry. She looked indignant. Zhao Yun'er's brows immediately furrowed. This Zhao Pinger, did she still have any humanity left? Dowdu was at least related to her by blood. How could he be so heartless as to stand by and do nothing? There was also that Qin Yuan. Zhao Pinger didn't know how to swim, so there was no need to mention that. He was a man. How could he not save her? Zhao Yun almost vomited blood because of these two weirdos. How could there be such people? Yun Liang Jinxiao frowned and looked at Zhao Yun. She knew that Zhao Yun must be very angry now. Not to mention Zhao Yun even she was very angry. I'll settle the score with them later. Zhao Yun said coldly. Zhao Yun thanked San San thank you for telling me about this. Also, thank you for informing me. San smiled shyly. And Yun, you're welcome. Zhao Yun asked Liang Jinxiao to help take care of Daodu while she prepared to deliver the ginger soup to Lu Lei. She could not wait for the ginger soup to turn cold before drinking it. By then it would not have any effect. When Zhao Yun arrived at Lu Lei's house with the ginger soup, she saw the figure of a girl busying herself. She washed Lu Lei's clothes and put them on a bamboo pole to dry. This girl was none other than Xiao Hong. Seeing Xiao Hong's back, Zhao Yun could not help but frown. Why was this woman so attentive to strolling around Lu Lei's house? She did not know how to avoid arousing suspicion. Or perhaps she did not even think about it. After all, she was thinking about Lu Lei. If gossip spread, it would be more beneficial to her. Then she could find an excuse to marry Lu Lei. Lu Lei changed his clothes and walked out of the house. Seeing Xiao Hong's busy figure, she said, "Sorry to trouble you." Xiao Hong smiled shyly and said, "It's okay, brother Lei Zi. Why are you being so polite with me?" "The clothes are done. Do you want to leave first?" Lu Lei asked carefully. This was because he knew that Zhao Yun was coming over to give him the ginger soup. If Xiao Hong continued to stay here, she would inevitably be seen by Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun might misunderstand something. Hearing Lu Lei's sudden words, Xiao Hong thought that Lu Lei despised her, so she looked at Lu Lei sadly. "Brother Lu, why are you in such a hurry to chase me away?" "No, nothing. I just feel that it's not good for you to stay in my house for too long," Lu Lei replied, but he felt a little guilty. "Big brother Lu, haven't I been coming here all this time? You didn't say that before. Why did you suddenly say that?" Lu Lei suddenly did not know what to say. He could not tell Xiao Hong that he was afraid that Zhao Yun would misunderstand. Although it was not the first time that Zhao Yun had misunderstood, it was indeed not good for her to misunderstand again. Lu Lei frowned and hesitated for a moment before saying, "Xiao Hong, you're a girl. It's inevitable that people will misunderstand you if you keep coming here. When people start gossiping, it's your reputation that's bad. If we're not together, I can't possibly hold you back." Xiao Hong's eyes darkened when she heard that. "But Big Brother Lu, people are already talking about us. Big Brother Lu, all this time I thought you had accepted me. Why are you still like this now?" Xiao Hong's tone sounded a little aggrieved, as if she was complaining about Lu Lei. Chapter 938. Lu Lei was stunned. He didn't expect Xiao Hong to say that. Wasn't he unable to reject her previously? Xiao Hong had clung to him so passionately that he was too embarrassed to reject her. In addition, Lu Lei couldn't bear to be too cold to her after what Xiao Hong had said to him previously. He didn't expect Xiao Hong to be the one who didn't make her attitude clear from the start. "Brother Lei, everyone in the village thinks that I'm your woman. If you don't want me, who knows how they'll laugh at me," Xiao Hong said bitterly. It had to be said that Xiao Hong's acting skills were very good. When she pretended to be so pitiful, it really made one's heart ache. When Lu Lei heard Xiao Hong's words, he naturally had to take responsibility if Xiao Hong's reputation was affected. "Xiao Hong, I haven't decided if I want to marry you. Brother Lu, we're not young anymore. If we drag this on, I'm afraid the villagers will laugh at me." Xiao Hong looked at Lu Lei pleadingly after she finished speaking. Lu Lei didn't know how to respond. "Xiao Hong, Zhao Yun saw Lu Lei's expression and guessed that he probably didn't want to. This Xiao Hong was really interesting. It was the first time she saw such a shameless woman. Zhao Yun couldn't stand it anymore. She walked over and said sarcastically to Xiao Hong, "I've seen people throw themselves at him, but this is the first time I've seen someone throw themselves at him like you." Xiao Hong didn't expect Zhao Yun to suddenly come over. Thinking that Zhao Yun heard what she said just now, Xiao Hong felt embarrassed and angry. You always come over so eagerly because you want others to talk about you and Lu Lei. This way Lu Lei won't be able to stand the villagers' gossip, so he'll take responsibility for you. Xiao Hong, you're really good at scheming. No wonder you don't mind coming over to him every day." Zhao Yun exposed her mercilessly. Xiao Hong's face turned red from Zhao Yun's words. Xiao Hong gritted her teeth and glared at Zhao Yun fiercely. This B***TCH actually said that about her. This was too much. Yuner. Lu Lei didn't expect Zhao Yuner to suddenly come over, so he called out softly. Seeing the tension between Zhao Yuner and Xiao Hong, Lu Lei frowned worriedly. What should I do now? He did not want any conflict between Zhao Yuner and Xiao Hong. After all, it was because of her. People need face, trees need bark. Xiao Hong, aren't you afraid that others will laugh at you for doing this? Zhao Yun continued to ridicule. What right do you have to say that about me? Xiao Hong asked angrily. Zhao Yuner shrugged. No reason. I just couldn't help but say it when I saw how despicable some people were. You, Brother Lei, this is ginger soup. Drink it quickly. Don't catch a cold. Zhao Yun handed the ginger soup to Lu Lei after scolding Xiao Hong. Okay. Lu Lei took it and thanked her. Xiao Hong saw that Lu Lei's gaze was much gentler when he looked at Zhao Yuner than when he looked at her. Jealousy rose in her heart. Chapter 939. Zhao Yuner's expression darkened even more when she heard that. When had she ever refused to let go of her tears? She had clearly told Lu Lei a long time ago that her heart was not with him, and she had never stopped Lu Lei from dating other girls. But it was obvious that Lu Lei had no feelings for Xiao Hong. It was Xiao Hong's fault for trying to get close to Lu Lei. Hey Xiao Hong, why don't you ask Brother Lu if I'm keeping him? Lu Lei hurriedly said, Xiao Hong, don't say that about Yun. She never said that she wanted to be with me. It's just my wishful thinking. When Xiao Hong heard that, her eyes revealed a lot of bitterness. Why was it like this? She had been taking care of Lu Lei for so long, but he was still thinking about another woman in his heart. And this woman was Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun sighed and reminded Lu Lei, Brother Lei, look carefully. If you really don't want to be with her, then avoid her when you should. If you want to be with her, just pretend that I didn't say anything. After Zhao Yun finished speaking, she turned around and said to Xiao Hong, let me give you a piece of advice. A man's heart is not with you. Even if you use some special method to keep him by your side, he still doesn't love you. With that, Zhao Yun turned and left. Looking at Xiao Hong, this B***TCH made her feel terrible. Looking at Zhao Yun's arrogant back as she left, Xiao Hong gritted her teeth in hatred. Zhao Yun, this B***TCH. She didn't believe that she couldn't snatch Lu Lei to her side through her method. Zhao Yun, don't underestimate her. Lu Lei listened to Zhao Yun's words. He looked in the direction that Zhao Yun left, and then looked at Xiao Hong. Xiao Hong, why don't you not come here in the future before I think it through? I will consider you, but I'm not sure. To protect your reputation, it's better that you don't come here for the time being. These words sounded rather sarcastic to Xiao Hong's ears. Big Brother Lu. I'm afraid it's too late for you to say that. Do I still have a reputation? It's gone, right? I reckon that other than you, no one else will marry me. After Xiao Hong finished speaking, she wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes and ran off, feeling aggrieved. Lu Lei's heart suddenly ached, and endless guilt emerged in his heart. At the end of the day, he was responsible. It was because his attitude had not been clear that he had given Xiao Hong the wrong impression. However, the current situation seemed to be irreparable. Zhao Yun returned home and checked on Daodu. With proper recuperation, Daodu should be fine. Zhao Yun was going to settle accounts with Zhao Pinger and Qin Yuan. These two heartless things should at least be caught and scolded a few times. At this moment, Zhao Pinger and Qin Yuan strolled over to old Zhao's land. Looking at Qin Yuan's busy back view, Zhao Pinger sat on a rock at the side, cupping her face as she watched. The more she looked, the more she felt that Qin Yuan was exceptionally good-looking even when he was working. Big Brother Yuan is indeed a natural beauty. Zhao Pinger was infatuated as she watched Qin Yuan's figure. Qin Yuan was unbearably tired at this moment because Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui were ordering him to work. Even if he wanted to slack off, he did not have the opportunity to do so. Chapter 940. Huff huff. Qin Yuan took a few deep breaths. Just as he was about to sit down and rest after moving the stones, Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui shouted at him again. Qin Yuan, hurry up and pile up the stones. Do we still have to pile them up after moving them here? Qin Yuan asked. Of course. Why are you talking so much nonsense? Just do as I tell you to. Qin Yuan pursed his lips, feeling aggrieved. Oh. Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui were really not afraid of exhausting him to death. Even if he could do such tiring work at home, he had to go to Zhao Pinger's house to suffer. The more he thought about it, the angrier Qin Yuan became. He blamed everything on Zhao Ping'er. When he turned around, he saw Zhao Ping'er holding her ugly face and looking at him in a daze. Qin Yuan felt nauseous and quickly looked away. Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui mocked Qin Yuan when they saw him working. "You little rascal, you can't even use your strength when working." "That's right. You're eating for nothing. You're so big but you're useless. You're better off working in Tianan." "I really don't know what eldest sister and brother-in-law are thinking. He's poor but he doesn't have any skills. Are we going to rely on him to eat in the future? Ha, isn't that the case?" Since Zhao Wenhua was not around, Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui started to whisper to each other. However, Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui's whispers still reached Qin Yuan's ears. Qin Yuan clenched his fists tightly when he heard this. But this was too much. Was he that lousy? Today Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui said that he was lousy. He was more than enough to match that ugly woman Zhao Ping. Did they not know what Zhao Ping'er was like? Did they think that just because the third branch had some money, Zhao Ping'er would be able to get married? Qin Yuan suddenly smashed the stone on the ground. "I quit." In any case, he would be nagged when he was working, so it was better for him to just rest at the side. Qin Yuan clapped his hands and turned to leave. Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui started nagging again when they saw that Qin Yuan had suddenly stopped working. This brat, seriously. He's even throwing a tantrum. You're actually not working anymore. We pay so much every day, how can we not work? Liang Jinshun turned to Zhao Wenhua and said, "Brother-in-law, look at your future son-in-law. He's slacking off again." Hearing Liang Jinshun's complaint, Zhao Wenhua sighed. "Uncle Yuner, forget it. Let him rest and talk to Ping'er. Brother-in-law, how can we do that? Sai, he's just a child. Don't take it to heart. Brother-in-law, you are really magnanimous. If my future son-in-law was like this, I would definitely scold him. Since he's here to work, how can he slack off?" Zhao Ping'er heard Liang Jinshun's complaints and said angrily to Liang Jinshun, "Uncle, big brother Yuan has already been busy for a while. Can't you let him rest?" "Seriously? Ping'er, you really know how to protect this future husband of yours. You even know how to feel sorry for him." Liang Jinshun's words had a hint of mockery. An unmarried lady who did not know how to be shy all day long. She had not even married yet, and her life was already revolving around this man. Chapter 941. Liang Jinshun glanced at the beads of sweat on Qin Yuan's forehead and couldn't help but laugh. "I say, Ping'er lass, what's this little bit of sweat? Can't you see that we're all drenched? Our backs are all sweaty." Liang Jinhui also replied from the side, "Yeah, Ping'er lass, who isn't tired from working? Our backs are all drenched and we didn't even get to rest. He's just sweating a little. Look at how distressed you are. Isn't that right? If everyone is like this, then they should just stop working." That's right, that's right. When Zhao Ping'er heard that, she had an impulse to kill someone. Her eldest uncle and second uncle were really too much. How could they be like this? Weren't they clearly accusing Qin Yuan of slacking off? The more Zhao Ping'er thought about it, the angrier she got. Weren't her eldest uncle and second uncle deliberately picking on her? Zhao Ping'er glanced at Qin Yuan and realized that his expression was very uncomfortable. It looked like he was angry. "Big brother Yuan?" Zhao Ping'er was afraid that Qin Yuan had been wronged. Zhao Wenhua sighed and said to Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui, "Forget it. He's just a child. I didn't expect him to do much work anyway. You guys don't have to say any more." Only then did Liang Jinshun and Liang Jinhui stop nagging. Zhao Wenhua didn't want to say anything more about Qin Yuan and let him be. Zhao Ping'er looked at Qin Yuan with heartache. She immediately took out her handkerchief and prepared to wipe the sweat on Qin Yuan's forehead. However, she was rejected by Qin Yuan in disdain. "No need. Big brother Yuan, it's better to wipe the sweat." Qin Yuan looked at Qin Yuan with heartache. Qin Yuan frowned and said to Zhao Ping'er, "I'll do it myself." "Okay then." Zhao Ping'er sighed. She was a little sad that Qin Yuan had given her the cold shoulder. At this moment, Mu Hin happened to pass by with a kettle in his hand. This kettle was newly bought. When Mu Hin passed by old Zhao's land, he hid far away, fearing that he would bump into Zhao Tianan and Zhao Ping'er. She had suffered a loss for nothing once, and she did not want to suffer a second time. When Zhao Tianan saw Mu Hin coming over, he wanted to apologize to Mu Hin, but he saw Mu Hin hiding far away as if he was avoiding the plague. Mu Hin's footsteps were very fast. He lowered his head, looking nervous and cautious. Seeing this, Zhao Tianan could only sigh. He would wait for an opportunity to apologize to Mu Hin later on. Zhao Ping was not in the mood to care about Mu Hin this time because Qin Yuan was beside her. When Mu Hin brought the water over, she saw that Zhu Eru was tired and covered in sweat. She could not help but feel sorry for him. "Brother-in-law, why don't I help you?" Mu Hin asked. If she helped, although she could not do much heavy work, she could at least help Zhu Eru a little. Zhu Eru smiled and shook his head. He said to Mu Hin, "Silly girl, this work is done by men. It doesn't make sense for a girl to do it. Just go back and help your sister." Mu Hin hesitated for a while. When she saw that Zhu Eru's back was soaked, she sighed and said, "Okay then, brother-in-law. Why don't you take a rest first? I brought you some water. Drink some?" Zhu Eru thought for a while, nodded, and put down the shovel in his hand. "Okay, let's sit aside and drink some water." "Okay." As they spoke, the two of them sat down on a rock at the side. Zhu Eru took a deep breath. Chapter 942. It was just that it would cost money to find a bricklayer. Zhu Eru was now saving money where he could. Most of the things that he could solve alone would be solved by himself. If there was something that he couldn't solve, then there was really no other way. He wasn't afraid of being tired. Although it was a little slow to work alone, after all he could save a lot of money. Unlike Zhao Yun'er's family, they called a lot of people to help as soon as they started work. At this time, a beautiful figure came from not far away. This person was Ma Xiaofeng. After her mother said those words yesterday, Ma Xiaofeng was afraid that Zhao Tianan would give up on her after hearing it. After all, she intended to be with Zhao Tianan in her heart. Not to mention that Zhao Tianan was very honest and good-looking, the most important thing was that his family was well off. After Zhao Yun'er's house was built, she could almost marry over. Then she would live in a big, very comfortable brick house, much more comfortable than her family's adobe house. Before, when she was at odds with Zhao Tianan and angry with Zhao Tianan, she was just angry with Zhao Tianan. She didn't let him get too close to other girls, lest he be bewitched. In the end, it was just a tactic of hers. For men, you couldn't be too enthusiastic. It would make him feel that it was only you. Sometimes, when you threw a tantrum, it made men anxious. After forgiving them again, they would cherish you more. This kind of indifference was the best way to capture a man's heart. Ma Xiaofeng saw through it. Since her mother said those words, Zhao Tianan would definitely be discouraged. At this time, she had to come over to Zhao Tianan and talk to Zhao Tianan again, so that Zhao Tianan wouldn't give up on her easily. Zhao Tianan was an honest person. If she coaxed him well, Zhao Tianan would probably be willing to take out the money. No matter what, she had to hold on to Zhao Tianan. If he could find Zhao Tianan now, he could only go to Zhao Yun'er's land. He couldn't go to Zhao Yun'er's house. When Ma Xiaofeng came over, Zhao Ping saw her. She smiled and called out to Ma Xiaofeng, "Xiaofeng, you're here? Are you looking for my brother Tianan?" Ma Xiaofeng nodded shyly. Zhao Ping replied with a look of understanding. Seeing her brother and Ma Xiaofeng together, Zhao Ping was very happy. Therefore, as his elder sister, she would definitely try her best to matchmake them if she could. Zhao Ping called out to Zhao Tianan. "Tianan, come here quickly. Xiao Feng is here to see you." Zhao Tianan heard Zhao Ping calling out to him, and also heard that Ma Xiaofeng was looking for him. His entire body stiffened. He didn't know if he should go and look for Ma Xiaofeng. After all, he liked Ma Xiaofeng. Knowing that Ma Xiaofeng came to look for him, he naturally couldn't wait to see Ma Xiaofeng. If it was in the past, he would have immediately put down the work at hand and rushed over. Now he was considering it. If he went over, he would probably have an unbreakable and messy relationship with Ma Xiaofeng. However, he couldn't take out the 50 taels of silver. Too much contact with Ma Xiaofeng would only delay Ma Xiaofeng. After this dilemma, Zhao Tianan finally decided to forget about it and not go over. Thus he said to Zhao Ping, "Eldest sister, I still have work to do." Zhao Ping was a little disappointed. "What work? Xiaofeng is here. Why aren't you taking a look? Don't regret it when Xiaofeng leaves." Chapter 943. What he meant was that Zhao Ping shouldn't rush him, and Zhao Tianan shouldn't delay his work just to see Ma Xiaofeng. When Zhao Wenhua spoke, Zhao Ping pouted in complaint but didn't say anything. Zhao Tianan followed Zhao Wenhua and responded, "Sis, Dad is right. I'd better get to work first." Ma Xiaofeng smiled and said considerately to Zhao Ping, "Sister Ping, it's okay. Let Tianan work first. I'm not in a hurry. I'll just wait for him here." Ma Xiaofeng's words were very considerate of Zhao Tianan. When Zhao Tianan heard this, he opened his mouth to say that Ma Xiaofeng didn't need to pay attention to him and could go back by herself. Unfortunately, he couldn't bring himself to say this. After thinking about it, he decided to forget it. He would work a little more. When Ma Xiaofeng waited for a long time, she would naturally go back by herself. Xiaoping smiled and responded, "Okay then. Xiaofeng, we can have a chat." After saying that, Zhao Ping'er said to Zhao Tianan, "Tianan, did you see that? Xiaofeng is so nice to you. Hurry up and get to work. Don't let her wait for too long." Zhao Tianan responded faintly. He was a little restless. Zhao Ping'er intimately pulled Ma Xiaofeng to the side to sit down and chattered non-stop. Ma Xiaofeng was a little annoyed by Zhao Ping'er's chatter and scolded Zhao Ping'er for being an idiot. She wasn't in the mood to listen to Zhao Ping'er. Ma Xiaofeng's gaze fell on Mu Hin, who wasn't far away. She was wondering why Zhao Tianan didn't like to talk to her today. Besides what her mother said, was it also related to Mu Hin? If that was the case, would Zhao Tianan fall in love with someone else? Ma Xiaofeng knew that a man's heart was the easiest to change. Although Zhao Tianan used to like her, Mu Hin wasn't bad after all. He was quite good-looking, even prettier than her. Now that Mu Hin brought water over from time to time, she had the opportunity to hang out with Zhao Tianan. Therefore, Mu Hin was still a little dangerous for Ma Xiaofeng. Perhaps Zhao Tianan would fall in love with Mu Hin after seeing her every day. Zhao Ping'er saw that Ma Xiaofeng ignored her when she spoke, so she followed Ma Xiaofeng's gaze to Mu Hin. At this time, Mu Hin and Zhu Eru sat opposite each other. He poured a glass of cold water for Zhu Eru, and Zhu Eru drank it in one gulp. After drinking a lot of water in one gulp, Zhu Eru felt a lot more comfortable. He worked hard and sweated a lot, so he needed to constantly replenish his body with water. Looking at the beads of sweat on Zhu Eru's forehead, Mu Hin took out a handkerchief and wiped it for Zhu Eru. "Brother-in-law, wipe your sweat. You should rest for a while more. You're sweating too much." "Okay." Zhao Eru answered without hesitation and smiled at Mu Hin. This scene just happened to fall into Zhao Ping'er's eyes. When Zhao Ping'er saw this, she couldn't help but mock and ridicule, "This B*TC. She really is a B*TCH. How could there be such a person? Seducing others is one thing, but look at her. She actually seduced her own brother-in-law." Ma Xiaofeng's eyes lit up. "Ping'er, don't talk nonsense. She might not be seducing her brother-in-law. Maybe she just feels sorry for him." On the surface, Ma Xiaofeng was defending Mu Hin, but it made Zhao Ping'er more certain that Mu Hin was seducing Zhu Eru. Chapter 944. After that, Zhao Ping'er's eyes fell on Mu Hin again. It's her older sister who feels sorry for her brother-in-law. Look, she acted so intimately in front of so many people. She's so shameless. Her older sister didn't see it. If she did, she'd be furious. We can't have such a person in our village. No, I have to talk to other people in the village and see if she still has the face to walk around in the village. Thinking that Mu Hin would be scolded if the gossip spread, Zhao Ping'er felt satisfied. Ma Xiaofeng frowned and asked, "Ping'er, I don't think it's a good idea. After all, we don't have any evidence. What if they come to our door? How can we explain it to them?" Zhao Ping'er snorted again. "Xiaofeng, what evidence do you need? We saw it with our own eyes, didn't we? Do you think we've wronged her?" "But, Xiaofeng, don't say, but. I'll talk to them. If they come to cause trouble later, I'll take the responsibility. Anyway, we have to let people know the real face of this bitch and let Tianan see it clearly," Zhao Ping'er said angrily. Ma Xiaofeng's eyes flashed with a hint of schadenfreude. Ma Xiaofeng knew that Zhao Ping'er wouldn't be able to do anything good, but her ability to stir up trouble and spread rumors was not to be underestimated. She wanted to see how miserable Mu Hin would be when the time came. Gossip was a terrible thing. Sometimes, these hurtful rumors were even worse than a fight. "Ping'er, fine. I don't want to get involved in this kind of thing. I don't want Tianan to think it was my idea," Ma Xiaofeng said in a low voice. Zhao Ping'er patted Ma Xiaofeng's shoulder and said to Ma Xiaofeng, "Xiaofeng, what are you thinking about? Of course it wasn't your idea. I was the one who did it." "Sure," Ma Xiaofeng said, then turned to look at Zhao Tianan. Why didn't Zhao Tianan have any intention of resting after working for so long? She was a little anxious from waiting, and her heart was faintly worried. Was Zhao Tianan doing this on purpose and deliberately ignoring her? Ouch. Qin Yuan called out softly. Zhao Ping'er hurriedly asked, "Big brother Yuan, what's wrong with you?" Qin Yuan frowned and said, "My back hurts." "Waist pain?" Zhao Ping'er immediately panicked. "Big brother Yuan, what do we do then? Was he injured? Let me show you." Saying that, Zhao Ping'er wanted to lift up Qin Yuan's clothes to see what was wrong with Qin Yuan's waist. Qin Yuan shouted loudly, Zhao Ping, what are you doing? Zhao Ping looked at Qin Yuan pitifully and said, Big brother Yuan, I'm just here to see how your waist is. Qin Yuan felt that he was about to die from anger because of Zhao Ping. Why are you lifting up my clothes? Zhao Ping met Qin Yuan's fierce eyes and felt a little scared. Big brother Yuan, if I don't lift up your clothes, how can I see what's wrong with your waist? Qin Yuan felt that there was a mouthful of blood in his chest, and he almost spat it out. Zhao Ping, you idiot, he really couldn't stand it anymore. Zhao Ping, my waist was just sprained when I was working. What can you see from it? Besides, you're a girl. Don't you think that you're a little too shameless? How can you lift up a man's clothes in public? Chapter 945. Brother Yuan, I'm just concerned about you. Qin Yuan glared at Zhao Ping. Concerned about me? Is this how you should be concerned about me? Aren't you afraid of being laughed at by others? Zhao Ping, you're really interesting. Zhao Ping was scolded by Qin Yuan and didn't even dare to breathe loudly. She could only put on an aggrieved face. Brother Yuan, please don't be angry. I won't dare to do it again. Isn't this enough? Qin Yuan looked at Zhao Ping with disgust. He was too lazy to say another word to Zhao Ping. This stupid woman, it's useless to say another word. Brother Yuan, can I help you rub it? It'll be much better if I rub it a little. Zhao Ping looked at Qin Yuan again and suggested. Qin Yuan was unwilling to let Zhao Ping touch him. He felt uncomfortable just by touching her. It's okay. I'm fine. Zhao Yun curled her lips and could only nod. Oh, all right then. Brother Yuan, you can rub it by yourself. You don't have to do any work later. My father is really too much. You just came here and he already made you do heavy work. Seeing Zhao Ping's distressed expression, Ma Xiaofeng thought that Zhao Ping was really a weirdo. She didn't know why Zhao Ping would treat such a useless man like him as a treasure. He had only done a little work, but he was already exhausted. If he had to do more work, it would be even worse. She reckoned that after he got married, he wouldn't be able to do that kind of work in the future. Okay. Qin Yuan answered indifferently. If it wasn't for the fact that he didn't have to come, he wouldn't have come to help. It was his mother who encouraged him to come. In addition, he could eat some delicious food at Zhao Yun'er's house. That was why Qin Yuan agreed. At this time, Zhao Yun'er walked over from afar with a sullen face. Ma Xiaofeng was a little nervous when she saw Zhao Yun'er. She ran over at this time. In Zhao Yun'er's opinion, she must be seducing her brother. Zhao Yun'er saw Zhao Ping Qin Yuan, and Ma Xiaofeng from afar. Although there was a hint of disgust in Zhao Yun'er's eyes when she saw Ma Xiaofeng, Zhao Yun wasn't in the mood to bicker with Ma Xiaofeng. This time he came over to ask if Zhao Ping and Qin Yuan still had any conscience. Seeing Zhao Yun'er walk over, Zhao Ping and Qin Yuan inexplicably felt a little guilty. They felt that Zhao Ping was here to cause trouble for them. Sure enough, Zhao Yun'er stepped forward, walked in front of Zhao Ping and gave her a slap. Only a slap sound was heard. Everyone present was stunned for a moment. Then they realized that Zhao Ping had been slapped. They saw that there was a clear red palm print on Zhao Ping's face. Zhao Ping also felt the burning pain on her face. Zhao Ping was stunned for a few seconds before she realized that she had been slapped. Zhao Ping stared at Zhao Yun'er angrily and said, Zhao Yun'er, why did you slap me? After saying that, Zhao Ping wanted to rush over and teach Zhao Yun'er a lesson. She couldn't let Zhao Yun'er slap her face for nothing, right? However, before Zhao Ping could touch Zhao Yun'er, she was pushed back by Zhao Yun'er. The corner of Zhao Yun'er's mouth evoked a cold smile. Why did I hit you? Why do you think? Are you crazy? How would I know? Chapter 946. Zhao Wenhua was alerted by Zhao Yun'er's noise, so he walked towards Zhao Yun'er. What's going on? Ping, you must have done something to upset Yun'er, right? Zhao Wenhua was obviously siding with Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Ping felt even more uncomfortable after hearing that. How could her father do that? He was completely siding with Zhao Yun. She was wronged, but Zhao Wenhua was siding with Zhao Yun. Zhao Ping looked at Zhao Wenhua angrily. Dad, you're too much. It was Zhao Yun who ran to me and hit me. What could I do? Look at my face. Why are you still siding with Zhao Yun? Dad, I'm your daughter too. How can you be so biased? Zhao Ping's face was really swollen, so she couldn't speak clearly. Zhao Wenhua felt a little embarrassed after hearing Zhao Ping's words. He cleared his throat and asked Zhao Yun, what happened? What did Ping do? Zhao Yun snorted. Dad, why don't you ask her what she did with me, her future brother-in-law? Qin Yuan noticed that Zhao Yun was talking about him, so he turned to look at Zhao Yun. He didn't do anything, but precisely because he didn't do anything, Zhao Yun was angry. Qin Yuan thought for a while. He guessed that Zhao Yun was talking about Dao Du falling into the water. Did something happen to your son? Qin Yuan asked carefully. Zhao Yun's eyes glinted coldly. Oh, you do know. Zhao Wenhua was even more confused. What on earth was going on? Why couldn't she figure it out? Yun, can you tell me what happened? What happened to Dao Du? Zhao Yun, patiently recounted the matter once more. Zhao Wenhua was furious after hearing it. He knew that if Lu Lei hadn't come to save Dao Du would have been in big trouble. His daughter and son-in-law were standing by the river when Dao Du fell into it, but they didn't do anything. It was no wonder that Zhao Yun would be angry. Zhao Ping retorted indignantly. Zhao Yun, that's your son, not mine. Why should Brother Yuan and I save him? Seriously, so what if I don't save him? What right do you have to hit me? Zhao Yun saw that Zhao Ping was still stubborn. It seemed that she hadn't taught her enough lessons. Zhao Yun slapped Zhao Ping again. This time, blood flowed out of Zhao Ping's mouth. Zhao Ping cried out in pain. Qin Yuan was so frightened that he shuddered. Zhao Yun was too fierce, wasn't she? What if Zhao Yun taught him a lesson? It was all Zhao Ping's fault. If he had fallen into the water to save Dao Du, not only would Zhao Yun not come to find trouble with him, but she would also be grateful to him. Qin Yuan regretted it a little when he thought about it. Zhao Ping cried and tugged at the corner of Zhao Wenhua's shirt. Father, look at Zhao Yun. She's too much. Father, you can't let Zhao Yun bully me like this. Father, help me. Chapter 947. Zhao Ping pursed her lips and said indignantly, that little bastard's life is tough. Isn't he fine now? After Zhao Ping finished speaking, Zhao Wenhua also gave Zhao Ping a tight slap. You little girl, you really don't change. How can you even say something like that? You're really too disappointing. After being lectured by Zhao Wenhua, Zhao Ping was so angry that she directly sat on the ground and cried. As she cried, her two legs could not help but kick here and there. Ah, you all bullied me. You are all bad people. Qin Yuan looked at Zhao Ping on the ground as if he was looking at an idiot. Who could tell him if he could not be together with this crazy woman, Zhao Ping? Now you know how to cry. Zhao Ping, let me tell you, today is Dao Du's lucky day. If something had happened to Dao Du, your ending would definitely be worse than today. After being threatened by Zhao Yun like this, Zhao Ping was very scared in her heart. Zhao Yun's fierce gaze was telling people that she would definitely do what she said. She could not beat Zhao Yun, and her parents were protecting Zhao Yun, and this loss could only be swallowed back into her stomach. After Zhao Yun finished lecturing her, her gaze fell on Qin Yuan again. Qin Yuan was really guilty when Zhao Yun looked at him like this. Qin Yuan hurriedly avoided her gaze and evaded her gaze. Zhao Ping guessed that Zhao Yun was definitely going to cause trouble for Qin Yuan, so she said to Zhao Yun, what are you doing? What does this have to do with Brother Yuan? Brother Yuan doesn't know how to swim. Zhao Ping looked like she was afraid that Zhao Yun would do something to harm Qin Yuan. Zhao Yun saw that Zhao Ping was really protective of Qin Yuan. This woman was probably only this sincere towards Qin Yuan. Don't know how to swim? Zhao Yun's lips curled up as if she did not quite believe it. Zhao Ping glared at Zhao Yun and replied, Brother Yuan just doesn't know how to swim. So what? Zhao Yun's sarcastic voice laughed. Don't know how to swim? If a man doesn't know how to swim, then I can only say that he is really a piece of trash. After Zhao Yun's words, Qin Yuan's face and his ears turned red. After all, who would want to be called a piece of a man's a piece? Zhao Ping directly gnashed her teeth in anger. Zhao Yun, this little bitch bullied her, but now she actually bullied her man. She even called her man a piece of trash. Wasn't she indirectly scolding her? She was a person who could only marry a piece of trash. Zhao Yun, you've crossed the line. Don't bully people here. Zhao Yun, snorted coldly. So what? I'm telling the truth. Which man doesn't know how to swim? Tell me, if he isn't a piece of trash, what is he? You? Zhao Ping did not know how to refute Zhao Yun for a moment. The men in this era indeed knew how to swim. If Qin Yuan did not know how to swim, he would inevitably be called a piece of trash. Qin Yuan really could not stand it anymore. After Qin Yuan's face darkened, he said to Zhao Yun, I know how to swim. I'm not a piece of trash. After Qin Yuan finished speaking, Zhao Wenhua sighed. Yuan, since you know how to swim, why didn't you save Dao Du when he fell into the water? Facing Zhao Wenhua's questioning gaze, Qin Yuan lowered his head. Uncle, it's not that I didn't want to save him. It was Ping Er who stopped me. Chapter 948. Qin Yuan wasn't trying to put the blame on Zhao Ping Er, but it was the truth. Hearing that, Zhao Wenhua's face changed. She felt that her eldest daughter was really unreasonable. How could she do that? If she really didn't do anything, it wouldn't have been a big deal. However, when Qin Yuan was about to help, Zhao Ping Er suddenly came to stop them. Zhao Wenhua didn't know how to express her disappointment. How could there be a woman as vicious as Zhao Ping Er? Unreasonable, simply too unreasonable. Zhao Yun stared at Zhao Ping Er coldly. Ping Er, you're really something. Ping Er, don't you think that you've crossed the line? Daodu is your biological nephew. How could you be so cruel to him? Everything we eat and drink is earned by Yun. Don't you know how to be grateful? Zhao Yun stared at Zhao Ping Er. Maybe the food is eaten by a dog? No, you can't insult a dog. A dog knows how to be grateful. Does he know that? You, Zhao Ping Er, I know that I can't punish you. After all, murder is illegal. Just wait and see. You'll suffer in the future. Zhao Yun sneered, then strode away. Looking at Zhao Ping Er's stupid face, she felt a little annoyed. Of course, Zhao Yun's words were not just for show. After a while, Zhao Ping Er would know what it meant to live a life worse than death. Zhao Ping Er was scared by Zhao Yun's look before she left. She couldn't help but tremble. Who are you trying to scare? I'm not scared. Although Zhao Ping Er said that firmly, she was actually worried in her heart. That woman, Zhao Yun, is still too dangerous, too terrifying. What if he really hardened his heart and made a move against her? Zhao Wenhua looked at Zhao Ping Er in disappointment. He flung his sleeves and said, I can't be bothered with you anymore. After speaking, Zhao Yunlong no longer paid attention to Zhao Ping Er. He turned around and continued to work. Qin Yuan looked at Zhao Ping Er with disdain. It was all because of this idiot. If it weren't for her, he wouldn't have been implicated today and wouldn't have been criticized. Big brother Yuan, I'm in so much pain. Help me up. Zhao Ping Er looked at Qin Yuan pitifully. Qin Yuan snorted. Zhao Ping, are you asked for it? You vicious woman. After that, Qin Yuan also turned around and left. He didn't want to talk to Zhao Ping Er at all. Seeing that even Qin Yuan was angry at her, Zhao Ping Er pouted. It's all because of that bitch, Zhao Ping Er. Ma Xiaofeng glanced at Zhao Ping Er who was on the ground. She also thought that Zhao Ping Er was a weirdo. She was really stupid. Zhao Yun had a prince behind her, but she didn't try to please Zhao Yun. Instead, she liked to offend Zhao Yun. It was definitely right to say that there was something wrong with her brain. Originally, she was hoping that Zhao Ping Er would say a few good words about her in front of Zhao Yun. Now, it seemed that it was already good that Zhao Ping Er didn't implicate her. Ma Xiaofeng couldn't comment on Zhao Ping Er. After all, she still had to maintain her relationship with Zhao Ping Er on the surface. However, she was still thinking about whether she should be close to Zhao Ping Er in the future. What if because she was together with Zhao Ping Er, she implicated Zhao Yun and hated her? She probably wouldn't have the chance to take advantage of Zhao Yun in the future. Wu Xiaofeng, I'm in so much pain. Can you give me a hand? Ooh, it's really painful. Chapter 949. Zhao Ping Er was a little heavy, so Ma Xiaofeng had a hard time pulling her up. When she finally pulled Zhao Ping Er up, she almost fell down. This idiot was getting fatter and fatter. She didn't know if it was because the food in the third branch was too good, but Zhao Ping Er had become fat. The truth was similar to what Ma Xiaofeng thought. Compared to before, Zhao Ping Er had gained about 20 kilograms. In the past, old Zhao's family couldn't afford to eat good food even if they wanted to. Not to mention eating oily food, it was already very difficult to eat white rice and oily food for every meal. Under such conditions, although Zhao Ping Er liked to eat, there was no nutrition at all, so she naturally couldn't gain weight. Now, old Zhao's family basically had meat for every meal, and the oily food was heavier. In addition, Zhao Ping Er ate hard every day, so she was the first to eat any good food. In this way, over time, Zhao Yun's weight directly increased by a lot. Therefore, Zhao Yun's weight now was 20 kilograms heavier than before. There was an extra layer of flesh on his body, but it was not too obvious. The main thing was his face. After being slapped by Zhao Yun, it was directly swollen. Coupled with the original birthmark on Zhao Ping Er's face, Ma Xiaofeng now only felt that Zhao Ping Er was a pig's head. Not to mention that men would be afraid of such an appearance, even she, a woman, couldn't accept it. Ma Xiaofeng suddenly felt that Qin Yuan was not only a man, but a very courageous man. How could he not be a man if he dared to marry such a woman? After being pulled up, Zhao Ping'er looked at Ma Xiaofeng gratefully and said, Xiaofeng, you're the best. You're ignoring me, only you care about me. Ma Xiaofeng's mouth twitched. If she could ignore Zhao Ping'er, she also didn't want to talk to Zhao Ping'er. This idiot was really too annoying. Ma Xiaofeng couldn't express these thoughts in her heart. Instead, she pulled the corners of her mouth and said to Zhao Ping'er, Sister Ping'er, what are you talking about? We're good friends, how can I ignore you? Zhao Ping'er was touched when she heard this. Xiaofeng, that's why I said you're the best. Ma Xiaofeng smiled guiltily. She didn't know what she was thinking, so she felt guilty when Zhao Ping'er praised her like this. Ping'er, I think you should go back and have a good rest. Your face is seriously injured. You better go to see a doctor. Zhao Ping'er touched her face. It was swollen and painful now. Zhao Yin'er, that bitch must have used all her strength. She hit her so hard. Xiaofeng, is it serious? Ma Xiaofeng nodded seriously. Of course it is. Ping'er, you're about to get married. If your face is still like this before you get married, you won't look good when you get married. What if your husband dislikes you? Zhao Ping'er rolled her eyes and listened to Ma Xiaofeng's words. Thinking about it, she felt that Ma Xiaofeng's words were quite reasonable. Xiaofeng, I'd better go to see a doctor. Ma Xiaofeng nodded. Chapter 950. Ma Xiaofeng was now only concerned about Zhao Tianan, so that she could say a few words to Zhao Tianan. How could she be in the mood to pay attention to Zhao Ping'er? Ma Xiaofeng was silent for a moment, not knowing how to refuse. At this time, Ma Xiaofeng looked at her pitifully again. Xiaofeng, I'm in so much pain. Zhao Yin'er, that bitch is so ruthless. I feel like my butt is blooming. Ma Xiaofeng's mouth kept twitching. Zhao Ping'er came to beg her shamelessly, so she really couldn't refuse. Looking in the direction of Zhao Tianan, Ma Xiaofeng bit her lower lip. Hey, okay, Sister Ping'er, then I'll send you back. Ma Xiaofeng said. She was extremely reluctant. After all, if she sent Zhao Ping'er away, she wouldn't be able to wait for Zhao Tianan. Zhao Ping'er looked at Ma Xiaofeng happily. Xiaofeng, I know you're the best. You'll send me back. Ma Xiaofeng couldn't help rolling her eyes in her heart. It was really interesting. She just didn't want to send her back. Could it work? It was obvious that it couldn't. Ma Xiaofeng found that she didn't have much patience for Zhao Ping'er. She just wanted Zhao Ping'er, this idiot, to stop bothering her in the future. It was simply too annoying. Before Ma Xiaofeng left, she glanced at Zhao Tianan again, and there was a touch of sadness between her eyebrows. Let's go. Don't talk about this, Sister Ping'er. Zhao Ping'er nodded heavily. Watching Ma Xiaofeng send Zhao Ping'er away, Zhao Tianan took a deep look at their backs and then withdrew his gaze. Zhao Tianan let out a sigh of relief. After Ma Xiaofeng left, Zhao Tianan felt his body relax a lot. At this time, Mu Hin was just about to go back. When she passed by Zhao Yin'er's land, Zhao Tianan hurriedly caught up with her. Mu Hin. Mu Hin knew it was Zhao Tianan. But now she couldn't avoid Zhao Tianan. It wasn't because she didn't want to talk to Zhao Tianan, but now she was afraid of Zhao Ping'er. What if Zhao Ping'er made trouble for her again? So after Zhao Tianan called Mu Hin lowered her head and didn't want to respond. Instead, she continued to walk forward. Zhao Tianan suddenly became anxious and hurriedly continued to catch up. She rushed directly in front of Zhao Tianan and blocked Mu Hin. Mu Hin didn't know that Zhao Tianan was in front of her, so she still lowered her head and continued to walk. But she didn't expect that she would directly bump into Zhao Tianan's arms. Hiss. Mu Hin's head hit Zhao Tianan's chin. Both of them gasped at the same time. Mu Hin raised her head and met Zhao Tianan's eyes. She was stunned. Then her ears began to turn red. She looked shy. Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin were very close to each other. He could clearly see the pores on Mu Hin's face. It was also the first time that he had been so close to a girl. His face couldn't help burning. Zhao Tianan was so nervous that he didn't know what to say. What's wrong with you? Mu Hin asked weakly. Her heart was twisted and she was unusually nervous. I have something to tell you. Zhao Tianan stammered and finally said. Mu Hin lowered her head and didn't dare to continue to look at Zhao Tianan. If you have something to say it quickly. If your sister sees it, she'll make trouble for me later. Mu Hin urged with some complaints and grievances. Chapter 951. Zhao Tianan said in a low voice, That's why I'm here to talk to you. My sister went too far with what she said before, so I'm here to apologize to you. You don't take my sister's words to heart. I'll compensate you for the kettle that my sister broke. Mu Hin was a little nervous when he spoke. In fact, he was more worried that Mu Hin would make a fuss about it, and it was true that his sister had gone too far. Mu Hin shook his head. You don't have to compensate me and you don't have to apologize. It's none of your business. But, we'd better keep a distance. Your sister is too scary. What if she catches me and beats me and scolds me again? What should I do? Zhao Tianan was a little anxious. He didn't know what to say either. I'll try my best to protect you in the future. I won't let my sister bully you. Mu Hin's body stiffened for a moment, then he said, Thank you. You're a good person. I'll leave now. Mu Hin still didn't want to have anything to do with Zhao Tianan, so he hurriedly ran away. Looking at Mu Hin's back as he left, Zhao Tianan felt a sense of loss in his heart. After Zhao Yun went back, she spent the rest of her time with Daodu in case something happened to Daodu. Zhao Yun thought for a while. In the future she wouldn't let Daodu stay by her side, and she wouldn't let Daodu do this or that. It wasn't the root of the problem and it wasn't a solution. Only when Daodu learned how to do it would he be able to solve the problem by himself when he encountered danger. Zhao Yun thought for a while, then finally said, Daodu, I'll teach you how to swim in the future, okay? Daodu nodded excitedly and replied, Okay mother, Daodu wants to learn how to swim. This way Daodu won't be afraid of falling into the water. Zhao Yun patted Daodu's head. Of course. Once you learn how to swim, you won't have to worry about falling into the water. Mom, Daodu is so scared today. What if Daodu can't see you again? With that, Daodu burrowed into Zhao Yun's arms again. After all, he was still a 3-year-old child. This time he was indeed quite frightened. Zhao Yun patted Daodu's back and said to Daodu, That won't happen. Daodu is blessed by God. Such a thing will never happen again. And then, by the way mother, when will father come back? In a few days. What? Does Daodu miss father? Daodu nodded. He's only been gone for a day. But Daodu misses father. A smile appeared on Zhao Yun's face. Suddenly, Zhao Yun thought of a question. She couldn't help but ask Daodu, Daodu, if father and mother can't be together in the future, do you want to be with father or mother? Zhao Yun knew that it was a little cruel for a child to ask this question. However, this was a situation that could happen in the future. Zhao Yun saw that Daodu was very attached to Mu Lianfeng now. She was afraid that his attachment to Mu Lianfeng might surpass her, his mother. Daodu frowned and seemed to be very conflicted. Mom, Daodu likes mom and dad and I love dad. Daodu even wants to be with father. Mother, don't you want to be with father in the future? Speaking of this, Daodu's little brows were knitted together. He looked worried and sad. Zhao Yun sighed slightly and said to Daodu, No, mother is just saying what if. What if, Daodu, what will you choose? Chapter 952. After thinking for a while, he finally said to Zhao Yun, Mother, if you can't be with father, then Daodu will definitely choose you. Daodu likes mother the most, Daodu doesn't want to leave mother. After saying that, Daodu intimately hugged Zhao Yun's neck. When Zhao Yun heard Daodu's words, she felt a burst of sweetness in her heart, sighing that she really didn't raise this son for nothing. Sure enough, he was closer to her. Okay Daodu, go to bed early. Zhao Yun called out. And then, Daodu obediently got into bed. Zhao Yun took the opportunity to lie down beside Daodu. The mother and son fell asleep together and soon fell asleep. In the middle of the night, Zhao Yun heard someone knocking on her door again. Her sharp hearing made Zhao Yun suddenly wake up. Zhao Yun's eyebrows were knitted together, and her face was full of vigilance. It was so late, who would come to her house? It definitely wasn't a good thing. Zhao Yun was a woman and she wasn't sure who she could deal with. If it was an ordinary person like Zhu Sanlu, it would be fine, but she was afraid that it was someone powerful. Because Mu Lianfeng had been attacked twice, Zhao Yun knew that there were many dangerous people in the dark watching Mu Lianfeng. Could it be because of this, after Mu Lianfeng left, someone came to find trouble with her? If it was those martial arts masters, Zhao Yun felt that she definitely wouldn't be able to deal with them. Her mediocre martial arts could only deal with ordinary people. Standing in front of those who were really skilled in martial arts, she definitely didn't have the strength to truss a chicken. Zhao Yun held the dagger that Mu Lianfeng gave her in her hand. As long as someone came in, she would definitely stab it. Who is it? Zhao Yun asked outside the door. It's me, Yi Li. A weak but familiar man's voice came from outside. Zhao Yun was startled. She never thought that it would be Yi Li. This man really came to find her. Zhao Yun hurriedly opened the door and saw a figure fall in. Then Yi Li lay on the ground as if she was unconscious. Did this man come to her house with his last breath? A fishy smell also entered Zhao Yun'er's nostrils. It was bloody. It seemed that Yi Li was injured. However, the smell of blood after all, the smell was. Zhao Yun'er hurriedly lit the candle. After the room was bright, Zhao Yun'er saw the scene in the room and Yi Li's situation clearly. There were a few wounds on Yi Li's body before, but she treated them simply with dou sha. In the past 2 days he must have been running around in order to escape from being caught, so his wounds became more serious. His face was abnormally pale, which was the appearance of someone who had lost his blood. Seeing this, Zhao Yun'er frowned more deeply. How did he become like this? Zhao Yun'er thought that since Yi Li's kung fu was so good, he should be able to keep himself safe. She didn't expect that he would become like this. It was really terrible. Zhao Yun'er squatted in front of Yi Li, and put her finger under Yi Li's nose to feel his breath. She found that his breath was very weak. If she didn't treat the wounds on Yi Li's body properly, something worse might happen to Yi Li. If he couldn't even save his life, no, she couldn't let this man die. After all, they were friends. Chapter 953. Furthermore, he must have no other friends to rely on, which was why he was in such a state. Zhao Yun'er hurriedly checked on Yi Li's injuries. She had to help Yi Li treat it properly. If the wound became infected or festered, there was an 80% chance that his life would be in danger. Facing another strange man, Zhao Yun'er really didn't want to have too much contact. If Mu Lianfeng knew about this, he would definitely be jealous. However, this was a human life after all. Zhao Yun'er had no choice but to save it. It was late at night, so she could not call anyone over. Furthermore, the fewer people who knew about Yi Li coming over to her place, the better. Yi Li was a wanted criminal. Once news of this spread, the authorities would definitely come over to arrest Yi Li. She would also be implicated and sent to jail. After all, she had harbored a wanted criminal. It was inevitable that she would be held accountable. Therefore, she had to do it herself and help Yi Li clean his wounds. Fortunately, Mu Lianfeng had left behind some good medicine for Yi Li. Otherwise, she would not be able to get herbs for Yi Li in the middle of the night. Zhao Yun'er first went to the kitchen to boil some hot water so that she could clean the original bloodstains on Yi Li's body. After a while, Zhao Yun'er came back into the house from the kitchen. Facing Yi Li, who was lying on the floor, Zhao Yun'er could not let Yi Li sleep on the same bed as her and Daodu. Therefore, she had to make a mattress on the floor. Zhao Yun'er had bought a few quilts. The old quilts in her house could be spread on the floor, so she did not have to worry about getting dirty. After making the mattress on the floor, Zhao Yun'er moved Yi Li to the mattress on the floor. She began to take off Yi Li's coat and wet it with water. After carefully wiping it, she applied the medicine on Yi Li's wounds. "Mom?" Daodu was awakened by Zhao Yun'er's movements. He rubbed his sleepy eyes and got up. He glanced at Yi Li, who was lying on the floor, and said softly, "Mom, is Dad back?" Zhao Yun'er shook her head. "No, it's not your dad." Daodu saw Yi Li on the floor clearly. He sounded excited. "Oh Mom, it's Uncle." "Beautiful Uncle?" Zhao Yun'er asked doubtfully. Daodu nods and says, "That's right, Mother, it's Uncle Beauty." "Mom, Uncle came to our house before. Daodu has seen him before." Zhao Yun'er remembered that Daodu had mentioned it before. Zhao Yun'er guessed that it might be Yi Li at that time. Now it seemed that it was true. "Mom, what's wrong with Uncle?" Daodu asked with concern. "He's injured." "Daodu, don't tell anyone that Uncle came to our house." Zhao Yun'er reminded. Daodu nodded. "Mom, Daodu knows." "Daodu won't tell anyone." "Good boy, Daodu." Zhao Yun'er dressed Yi Li's wound and covered Yi Li with a blanket. Then she went back to bed to rest. That was all she could do. Whether this man could come back to life or not, that would depend on his own luck. The next morning when Zhao Yun'er woke up, Yi Li didn't move. However, Zhao Yun'er didn't have time to take care of him. Instead, she went to Yang City to continue selling breakfast. On the way to Yang City, Zhao Yun'er told Mulan about Yi Li. Mulan was shocked speechless. After a while she said to Zhao Yun'er, "Yun'er, if that's the case you have to be careful. Don't let anyone know that Mr. Yi is with you." Chapter 954. Zhao Yun'er nodded. "I know. Sai, if you find out, Yun'er, you and young Master Yi will be in danger. Young Master Shitzi will be able to help you, right? But I don't think young Master Shitzi will be able to help a wanted criminal like young Master Yi." Zhao Yun'er understood the reason behind this. She would be careful not to expose Yi Li's whereabouts. She only hoped that Yi Li could recover from his injuries as soon as possible so that he could leave Yang City and go to a safe place as soon as possible. After all, it was too dangerous to stay in her house. If the government sent people there, they would be able to find him after a search. More importantly, it was not good for Yi Li, a strange man, to stay in her house. Zhao Yuner could imagine Mu Lianfeng's jealous face even now. Yuner, you have to take good care of young Master Yi these few days. If there's anything I can help with, just let me know. Zhao Yuner nodded. Okay, sister-in-law Mulan. The soldiers were still patrolling everywhere. Zhao Yuner felt guilty when she saw the soldiers coming and going. After setting up the stall, she hurried back. When she returned, Yi Li could no longer feel anything. His face was pale as he lay on the ground. However, his breathing seemed to have stabilized. Mu Lianfeng's medicine must have worked. In the afternoon, Mulan went to Zhao Yuner's house and the two of them prepared breakfast together. Seeing Mulan sighing and looking troubled, Zhao Yuner couldn't help but ask, "Sister-in-law Mulan, did something happen? What's wrong with you?" Mulan sighed even louder after Zhao Yuner asked. Sigh. It was because of what her sister-in-law said after she went back today. After she went back, she prepared to cook. Mu Hin was busy in the kitchen, while she was washing the vegetables outside. She saw her sister-in-law making the vegetables proudly and mocked her. "Second sister-in-law, I told you that you brought back an ingrate, but you didn't believe me. Look at your good sister. All the men in our family Zhu were seduced by her. Third brother seemed to have been bewitched by her, and Daniel was even more infatuated with her. Haha, now this little vixen is going to seduce second brother again. Second sister-in-law, you have to take good care of second brother. Don't let second brother's soul disappear." When Mulan heard this, she frowned deeply and questioned Madame Qi. "Sister-in-law, what do you mean?" Madame Qi smiled and said, "What do you mean? Was this what it meant on the surface? I say, second sister-in-law, don't tell me you don't know about the matter between your sister and second brother? Heavens, look at such a big thing and you're still trying to encourage me. TSK. Madame Qi's words. Mulan had no idea what Madame Qi was talking about. What on earth was she talking about? "Sister-in-law, if you have something to say, just say it clearly. Who knows what you're talking about?" Madame Qi chuckled and said, "All right, since you're in the same boat, second sister-in-law, I'll tell you." Madame Qi then told her the rumors that had just spread in the village. Chapter 955. Mrs. Qi's words sounded like she was encouraging her. She thought that if she sent Mu Xian away, then Zhu Dainiu wouldn't have any thoughts about her. Naturally, he would live a good life with her and treat her better. During this period of time, Zhu Dainiu's attitude towards Mu Xian could be said to be very bad because he was infatuated with her. He always despised her for this and that. Therefore, Mrs. Qi regarded Mu Hin as a thorn in her flesh. She couldn't wait to kick Mu Hin out of the family Zhu's yard. After hearing Mrs. Qi's words, Mulan couldn't help but feel a little emotional. She didn't believe that her younger sister would do such a thing, but sometimes rumors weren't made out of nothing. As the saying goes, flies don't bite a seamless egg. Facing Mrs. Qi, Mulan said calmly, "Mrs. Qi, stop it. I don't believe that my younger sister is that kind of person." Mrs. Qi bit her lower lip and said to Mrs. Qi, "Ha, Mrs. Qi, I'm reminding you out of kindness, but you don't believe me. Do you want to wait until your younger brother is seduced by your younger sister before you believe me? Well, Mrs. Qi, you're too generous. I guess your husband is seduced by another woman and you don't care about him at all. In fact, if you don't believe me, you can ask around in the village. Many people have seen it." After saying that, Mrs. Qi turned around. Before she left, she said to Mulan again, "Mrs. Qi, believe it or not, as long as you don't regret it in the future." Mulan still listened to Mrs. Qi's words, but it might be true. Otherwise, Mrs. Qi wouldn't have said that. But would Mu Hin really seduce Zhu Eru? Why did she seduce him? Mulan couldn't think of a reason. She washed the vegetables uneasily and went back to the kitchen. Looking at Mu Hin's back, she wanted to ask but didn't say it aloud. In the end, she swallowed it back. If this was not the case and he asked Mu Hin about it, how sad would Mu Hin be? He probably couldn't even stay here any longer. After Mulan told Zhao Yuner about this matter, Zhao Yuner chuckled and said, "Sister-in-law Mulan, do you believe me? Do you know her character?" Mulan nodded heavily and said, "Of course. I watched Xingxing grow up. She's pure and kind. I don't think she would do such a thing." Zhao Yuner continued to ask, "Then, Sister Mulan, do you trust Brother Eru?" Mulan nodded in agreement. "I do. Eru is an honest and reliable man." Zhao Yuner smiled and said, "Then it's fine. Rumors are just rumors. They may not be true. Since you believe the two of them, then it can't be true. Sister Mulan, think about me. Don't the people in the village talk about me a lot? Which one is true? Mulan thought about it and agreed. The rumors about Zhao Yuner in the village were even worse. However, the truth was not what the rumors said. Mulan felt much better after being comforted by Zhao Yuner. Nothing major happened in the next 2 days. Yili finally woke up after sleeping for 3 days. Fortunately, when he woke up, Zhao Yuner was at home. Zhao Yuner hurried forward to ask about the situation. Thank you for saving me. This was the first thing Yili said when he opened his mouth. You don't have to be so polite with me now. How's your injury? Chapter 956. Zhao Yuner rolled her eyes at Yili. Does he care about his own life? It's none of your business that you tried to assassinate the Prime Minister. Do you know that you're wanted by the government now? You're in a very dangerous situation. Yili looked serious for a second. Will I get you into trouble if I stay here? Why don't I leave now? Since he was wanted by the government, he would definitely get Zhao Yuner into trouble if he was caught. Yili couldn't let Zhao Yuner be in danger because of him. Therefore, if he left Zhao Yuner now, he could protect Zhao Yuner. Seeing Yili trying to stand up, Zhao Yuner pressed Yili back. Now you're wondering whether you'll get me into trouble. How did you know that I would come here that night? Hearing Zhao Yuner's question, Yili lowered his head with sadness in his eyes. I didn't know where I could go. I only thought of you at that time, so I brought you here. Yuner, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get you into trouble. Looking at Yili's appearance, Zhao Yuner felt a little distressed and hurriedly said, Okay. I don't think you mean to get me into trouble. Luckily you're here now. If you went to other places, I'm afraid you'd be dead. Yili lowered his head. Yuner, thank you so much. You've slept for so many days. Are you hungry? Speaking of that, Yili found that his stomach was indeed empty. Therefore, he nodded with embarrassment. Oh, I'm a little hungry. Then I'll cook some lean meat porridge for you. Sure. Watching Zhao Yuner leave, Yili couldn't take his eyes off her for a long time. How lucky was he to be able to hold on until he reached Zhao Yuner's age. Otherwise, he was afraid that he would really lose his life, right? Yili felt a deep sense of defeat. Other than his martial arts, he seemed to know nothing else. In order to save money to support himself, he could only live on the edge of a knife. If he couldn't even guarantee his own life, what could he give to the woman he liked? Therefore, even if Mu Lianfeng did not exist, he still did not dare to stand up and tell this woman that he would take care of her in the future. Zhao Yuner quickly cooked the porridge and brought it to Yili. Come and eat. You haven't eaten anything for the past few days, so you can only eat some bland food. I'll cook something delicious for you in a day or two. Yili nodded and took the porridge from Zhao Yuner's hands. Although it was just a bowl of lean meat porridge, when he ate it, his mouth was full of fragrance and the taste was very delicious. It's delicious. Yili praised as he ate. Zhao Yuner smiled proudly. Of course it's delicious. How can the food I cook be bad? Yes, it's delicious. Soon Yili finished a bowl of porridge. Zhao Yuner did not dare to let Yili eat too much, so she only gave Yili another bowl of porridge. After eating, Yili looked satisfied and smiled at Zhao Yuner. Thank you. He was really hungry these past few days. After escaping back to Yang City, he could not show up because he was hunted down. Therefore, he could only starve these past few days and did not eat anything. As a result, he was so hungry that he almost collapsed and his body was very weak. Chapter 957. Yili gave Zhao Yuner a meaningful glance. He had saved her life, so no matter what, if Zhao Yuner needed his help in the future, he would do his best. I'm going to wash the dishes. Zhao Yuner felt awkward being alone with Yili in the same room, so she stood up and was about to leave. Wait a minute. Yili called Zhao Yuner. Zhao Yuner stopped and turned around. She asked curiously, What's wrong? I have something for you. Zhao Yuner was struck dumb for a second, then asked curiously, What do you have for me? Yili fumbled in her sleeve and then took out a shiny gold bracelet. This is for you. Yili gave it to her. Zhao Yuner was struck dumb for a second when she saw the gold bracelet. For me? Yili nodded heavily. Yes, for you. It's too expensive. Such a big gold bracelet must be worth a lot of money. Zhao Yuner was too embarrassed to accept it. Take it. Yili said and put it into Zhao Yuner's hands. Zhao Yuner hesitated for a second. She couldn't accept it, but she couldn't reject it either. Zhao Yuner couldn't accept other free gifts, especially expensive ones for no reason. However, Yili looked very serious. If she didn't accept it, he would be sad. Yili, you can give me a small gift, but you should keep this gold bracelet. If you need money in the future, you can sell it. Yili's eyes dimmed. Did Zhao Yuner think that he was too poor? Seeing that Yili was silent, Zhao Yuner hurriedly said, I don't mean anything else. I just think that this gold bracelet is too expensive. Yili smiled. Yuner, it's not expensive at all. Compared to the fact that you saved my life, this is nothing, isn't it? Well, Yuner, I haven't given you anything before. You should accept it. Zhao Yuner didn't know what to say, so she nodded and accepted it. Yili, thank you for your gift. You're welcome. Wear it on your hand. Zhao Yuner nodded and put the bracelet on her wrist. The dazzling gold bracelet was indeed very attractive. Zhao Yuner looked at the bracelet. The workmanship of the bracelet was very exquisite. It was also decorated with gems. The craftsmanship was even better than the ones from the 21st century. Zhao Yuner couldn't help but admire the craftsmanship of the ancient craftsmen. The more she looked at it, the more she liked it. Have a good rest. Don't go anywhere for the next few days. Don't let anyone see you. Zhao Yuner reminded her and then left the house. Her house was so big, but it was still too small. Now Yili was added to the house. Zhao Yuner estimated that Mu Lianfeng would be back soon. She didn't know how Mu Lianfeng would feel when he saw such a scene. Would he blame her for bringing a man home? With Mu Lianfeng's jealousy, he would definitely think too much. Zhao Yuner had a headache thinking about this. She had to think of a way to keep Mu Lianfeng. In the afternoon, Zhao Yuner went to the third branch. She wanted to get a set of Zhao Wenhua's old clothes for Yili to change into. Yili's clothes were tattered and stained with a lot of blood. Zhao Yuner didn't like Yili's clothes before, so she didn't change them for him. This time she woke up, so she let him change himself. Chapter 958. This woman was Jin Suizhuan, the widow whom Zhao Wenxing liked. When Zhao Yuner came to old Zhao's house, Zhao Wenxing and Jin Suizhuan had just come back. Jin Suizhuan followed Zhao Wenxing nervously. She looked nervous and scared. Zhao Yuner was curious. Her fifth uncle was so fast that he brought the woman back so soon. Zhao Yuner moved closer with curiosity. She wanted to know what they were talking about. She didn't know what had happened until she entered the yard and listened to their conversation. This time, Zhao Wenxing plucked up his courage to introduce Jin Suizhuan to Zhao Baoshan and Liang Jinxiao. Zhao Wenxing didn't hide Jin Suizhuan's identity, because he knew it was impossible to hide it. It was better to tell them the truth in case there would be any disputes in the future. After old Zhao's family learned about the situation, they were shocked by this matter. Zhao Baoshan pulled a long face. Although he didn't say a word, Zhao Baoshan's reaction showed that he was angry. Hua Chuanhua's reaction was much stronger than Zhao Baoshan's. She directly scolded Zhao Wenxing. Lao Wu, it's fine that I don't care about your marriage, but you can't bring such a woman back home. Old Zhao's family doesn't need to find a girl from a noble family. You're a scholar. It's not a problem for you to look like an innocent girl. How could you bring such a woman back home? Her husband died because of her bad luck, and she has 2 burdens behind her. You're not marrying a wife. You're marrying a disaster. After saying that, Hua Chunhua glared at Jin Suizhuan. You little bitch. Why don't you take a look at yourself in the mirror? What kind of person do you think you are? Do you think you deserve Wenxing? You're so shameless and overestimating yourself. Let me tell you, old Zhao's family won't marry such a shameless woman like you. After being scolded by Hua Chunhua, Jin Suizhuan only felt aggrieved. She knew that she would be scolded for coming to old Zhao's house today, but she didn't expect to be scolded so harshly. Hua Chunhua looked at her as if she wanted to eat her up, and the words that came out of her mouth were very unpleasant. Even those weirdos from her in-laws' side didn't curse so harshly. Zhao Wenxing glanced at Jin Suizhuan with heartache. He shielded Jin Suizhuan behind him and acted as if he was doting on his wife. She then turned to Hua Chunhua with an equally serious expression. Mother, how can you be like this? These words were too harsh to listen to. There was no such thing as being worthy or unworthy. I'm not young anymore. Don't tell me you want me, a girl who's 10 years younger than you? I feel that if I don't scold him, I still want to be with Suizhuan. After Zhao Wenxing finished speaking, Hua Chunhua was so angry that she almost vomited blood. She usually treated her youngest son so well, but now he was going against her because of a widow. Did he still have her in his heart? Chapter 959. Feng Zhangxiao also hurriedly responded, Yes, fifth brother. Mother and your second sister-in-law are right. You have to think about the reputation of old Zhao's family, right? If our Zhao family's reputation is ruined, it won't just be your problem alone. Everyone in the Zhao family will be implicated and suffer together with you. Your nephews need to get married, and your nieces need to get married. If our family's reputation is ruined, I'm afraid it'll be difficult for them to find a good family. Hearing Feng Zhangsha's words, Zhao Wenxing remained silent for a while. He knew that he couldn't ruin the reputation of old Zhao's family because of his behavior alone. He couldn't let the other members of the old Zhao family be affected. He couldn't give up being together with Jin Suizhuan because of that. Zhao Wenxing was mentally prepared that his whole family would oppose him when he came back with Jin Suizhuan this time. No matter what they said, he couldn't give up his determination. Father, mother, sister-in-law. I know, but I still want to be with Suizhuan. Feng Zhangsha sighed and said, I say, second brother, why are you guys so stubborn? There are so many girls in the world. Why do you have to marry a widow who has a dead man and a child? Aren't you deliberately trying to anger mother and father to death? The two brothers, Zhao Wenshi and Zhao Wenshui, chimed in from behind. Fifth brother, don't be so stubborn. Marrying a wife, you can't make our whole family unhappy, right? You should listen to your parents when you get married. It's said that parents are the matchmaker. Even illiterate people in the countryside know that. You're a scholar, so you should know better, right? Hua Chunhua took a few deep breaths and snorted. If I don't agree, can he marry this woman? I'd like to see how he can get married if his father and I don't hold a wedding for him. Zhao Wenxing's body trembled and he frowned. Mother, you can't force me like this. I forced you? Old Fifth, ask yourself honestly, were you the one who forced me and your father? We're already so old and we can't withstand your anger. If we can't catch our breath, we might just kick our legs and die. Mom? Zhao Wenxing frowned. Mother, I only want Suizhuan. If I don't marry her, I won't marry another woman. I'll be single for the rest of my life. Hua Chunhua glared at Zhao Wenxing and said, what do you mean it has to be him? I say, Wenxing, you haven't interacted with other girls, but if you do, you'll find that there are better ones. Tell me, what are you doing when you can't think things through? Zhao Wenxing pressed his lips together. Mother. Suizhuan is pregnant with my child, so I have to marry her. I am a man, Chuiwan is pregnant with my child, I have to take responsibility. When Hua Chunhua heard this, she immediately staggered and almost fell to the ground. What did you say? Hua Chunhua's lips trembled as she asked. Mother, I said Suizhuan is pregnant with my child, so I have to marry her. Zhao Wenxing stood where he was and repeated it with a serious face. Old Zhao's family members were all shocked, and they couldn't believe their eyes. Zhao Wenxing, who usually looked so honest, could actually do such a thing? Did they hear it wrong? Chapter 960. No way. Brother Wu, why did you make her pregnant? Exactly, Brother Wu, they're not even married yet. How could you do such a stupid thing? If other people in the village know about it, they'll criticize you to death. It's not something a scholar would do. Brother Wu, I think your parents will be mad at you. Fifth brother, it's not that I want to scold you, but this kind of thing shouldn't be done. Our Zhao family supports you to study so that you can pass the imperial examinations in the future. Our entire Zhao family can enjoy a good life. If you do this, will you still have the mood to pass the imperial examinations in the future? The Zhao family's people were chattering non-stop, criticizing Zhao Wenxing's actions. Zhao Yuna looked at Zhao Wenxing, who was surrounded and scolded, and felt a little pity. She never expected that Zhao Wenxing would really listen to her and make Jin Suizhuan pregnant. If it weren't for the fact that so many people in old Zhao's family were watching, Zhao Yun really wanted to rush to Zhao Wenxing's side and compliment him. That was King awesome. That was awesome. His fifth uncle was considered to have a backbone and had his own opinions. Liang Jinxiao stood aside. After hearing about Zhao Wenxing's situation, he whispered in Zhao Yun's ear, your fifth uncle is so stupid this time. How could he do such a thing? It's not good if other people know about it. Zhao Yun said carelessly, Mother, I don't think Uncle Wu did anything wrong. Who doesn't want to be with the woman he likes? Uncle Wu should ask for his opinion on who he likes. After all, he's going to spend the rest of his life with that person. Grandpa and Grandma don't agree with this marriage, so Uncle Wu has no choice but to do this. Liang Jinxiao sighed slightly after hearing that. It was normal that old Zhao's family didn't like Jin Suizhuan's family. Not to mention Zhao Wenxing, who had good conditions, would dislike her. Even an ordinary family, or a family that was poor to the point where it was difficult to find a wife, might not necessarily be willing to marry Jin Suizhuan. After all, Jin Suejuan was no longer a virgin. Moreover, if he married Jin Suejuan, she would be a burden. Jin Suejuan would have a child behind her. In this day and age, who would help raise another person's child? In fact, Zhao Baoshan and Hua Chunhua couldn't be blamed. Most people in the countryside couldn't accept such a girl. Hua Chunhua was so angry that she started crying. Ah, my mother, who did I offend? Old Zhao's family is so miserable. You raised a heartless son who specializes in tricking people. As she cried, Hua Chunhua took the opportunity to sit on the ground. With her legs wide open, she cried very miserably. Mother. Looking at Liang Jinxiao, who was on the ground, Zhao Wenxing frowned and had mixed feelings. His mother cried and screamed, which made him feel like a sinner. Zhao Wenxing sighed and decided to persuade Hua Chunhua to get up first. Mother, please get up first. We can't solve the problem if you stay like this. Hua Chunhua didn't listen to Zhao Wenxing's words. She shouted at Zhao Wenxing, you heartless son. Don't pretend to care about me. If you really cared about me, would you kill me like this? What kind of sin have I committed? Zhao Wenxing only felt helpless. Chapter 961. Liang Jinxiao angrily glared at Zhao Wenxing and scolded, Wenxing, if you marry this shameless vixen today, you won't have a mother like me. You better make your choice. Zhao Wenxing sighed helplessly. Mother, why do you have to do this? Why do you have to force me to make a choice? You know you're my mother. How can I not choose you? However, Suejuan is pregnant with my child. I can't leave her alone. Mother, please, for the sake of Suejuan's child, please agree to let me be with Suejuan. Zhao Wenxing didn't say anything, but Hua Chunhua was even angrier now. Hua Chunhua quickly got up from the ground and ran to Jin Suejuan. She wanted to slap Jin Suejuan's face several times. Mother, what are you doing? Why did you slap her? Zhao Wenxing asked with a serious face. Why did I slap her? Hua Chunhua snorted and continued to scold Jin Suejuan. Of course I'm going to teach this shameless bitch a lesson. She doesn't even know who she is. How can she be pregnant with Wenxing's child? Let me tell you, even if the child in your belly is Wenxing's, a woman like you will never be able to marry into old Zhao's family. After Hua Chunhua finished, Jin Suejuan's face was also very ugly. After enduring the humiliation, Jin Suejuan lowered her head and whispered to Zhao Wenxing, Why don't I leave now? Zhao Wenxing pulled Jin Suejuan. Leave? Where are you going? Suejuan, you have to get married today. Hua Chunhua said angrily to Zhao Wenxing, Lao Wu, did you get kicked in the head by a donkey? Why did you marry such a troublemaker? You have to be responsible with her. After she gives birth to the child, she can give the child to old Zhao's family. Mother, what are you talking about? It's unfair to Suejuan. Zhao Wenxing questioned angrily. What do you mean by fair or unfair? Lao Wu, just follow mother's method. Zhao Yun couldn't listen to it anymore. This wasn't the way to bully people. Hua Chunhua was such a weirdo. Why would she give birth to a child for old Zhao for no reason? Just when Jin Suejuan couldn't take it anymore and was about to retreat, Zhao Yuner walked over and said to Hua Chunhua, Grandma, what you're doing is wrong. Aren't you going too far? Fifth uncle has made her pregnant. If they come back and make a fuss, not only will our old Zhao family's reputation be affected, but when the time comes, people from her family might even come over and extort money from us. After all, it's fifth uncle's fault. He hasn't married her yet, but he has already made her pregnant. Hearing Zhao Yuner's words, Hua Chunhua's face darkened. She scolded Zhao Yuner angrily, Zhao Yuner, you little bitch. This has something to do with you. How can you interfere in this? And who are you trying to scare? Chapter 962. After Zhao Yuner finished speaking, Hua Chunhua was about to scold Zhao Yuner again, but Zhao Baoshan overheard Zhao Yuner's words. Although they were all from the countryside, they had to be responsible. If they got a woman pregnant, they would basically marry her. Otherwise, they would definitely be scolded. If this time, as Zhao Yuner said, if they didn't marry her, her family would come to make a scene. It would be much more serious than marrying Jin Suejuan. After comparing in this way, Zhao Baoshan had his own judgment in his heart. Therefore he said to Hua Chunhua, Old woman Yuner is right. We have to deal with this matter properly. Hua Chunhua replied angrily, How can we deal with it properly? Aren't there only 2 days left? One is that Wenxing marries this slut, the other is that he doesn't marry her. Don't tell me you can spare a third one, old man? Zhao Baoshan was silent for a while, then said, How about this? Zhao Baoshan's sight fell on Jin Suizhuan's face and he talked to her in a negotiating tone. If you don't marry into our old Zhao's family, after you give birth to the child, our old Zhao's family will take care of it. At that time, we'll give you 5 taels of silver as compensation. Since Zhao Baoshan proposed this, Zhao Yuner knew that he actually had a little conscience, although this condition would make people feel uncomfortable. Once Hua Chunhua heard that Zhao Baoshan actually wanted to give her 5 taels of silver, she couldn't bear it. Old man, what's wrong with you? 5 taels of silver isn't a small amount. It's enough for our family to spend for a long time. We don't have much money at home. How can you be so generous to give so much money to the shameless slut? Hua Chunhua's sharp mouth kept nagging. Zhao Baoshan couldn't help glaring at Hua Chunhua. Shut up, you old woman. You don't want her to marry into our family, but you're willing to compensate her. Tell me, what do you want to do? Hua Chunhua pouted. She didn't agree with Zhao Baoshan's behavior, but unfortunately she didn't dare to refute Zhao Baoshan. Hearing that, Jin Suizhuan looked at Zhao Baoshan and Zhao Wenxing. At last she took a deep breath and said to Zhao Wenxing, I don't want money. I just want to be with Wenxing. Jin Suizhuan's rejection was very obvious. Zhao Wenxing couldn't help smiling when he heard that. He held Jin Suizhuan's hand tightly. No, I don't agree with this shameless slut marrying into our family. Old Zhao's family can't afford to lose face. Besides, our old Zhao's family doesn't have the spare money to raise a few children. If it's our old Zhao's children it's fine, but none of them have the surname Zhao. Zhao Wenxing plucked up his courage and said to Hua Chunhua, Mom, if I marry Suizhuan I can raise her children with her. We don't need a cent from our old Zhao's family. Hua Chunhua snorted. Lao Wu, what do you mean? Shouldn't the money you get be given to our old Zhao's family? Why do you have spare money to raise other people's children? Mom, since you said so, let's split up. As long as I'm with Suizhuan, I don't need anything at home. I can directly live with Suizhuan. Zhao Wenxing plucked up his courage and said. He knew that under normal circumstances, it was impossible to split up. Chapter 963. Since that was the case, old Zhao's family would have nothing to do with the separation of the family assets. Hua Chunhua pointed at Zhao Wenxing angrily. Lao, our old Zhao's family suffered a lot when we were studying with you. Now you want to separate because of a woman? Do you want your mother to die of anger? Zhao Wenxing lowered his head. Mom, I have no choice. Old Zhao's first branch and second branch heard Zhao Wenxing's words and started to think about it. If what Zhao Wenxing said was true, it would undoubtedly be beneficial for the other branches if they separated from the family assets. With Zhao Wenxing's share, the other branches would be able to get more when old Zhao's family separated from the family assets. Especially the first branch, they were worried that they wouldn't have a new house when Zhao Tianhu got married. After all, old Zhao's family only had so many houses, and a newlywed couple couldn't possibly live in the same house with them. If Zhao Wenxing moved away, Zhao Wenxing's house could be used as a new house for Zhao Tianhu. In addition, although Zhao Wenxing was a scholar and would be of great help to old Zhao's family if he passed the imperial examinations, they couldn't count on him. Zhao Wenxing was getting older. If he had the potential to pass the imperial examinations, he would have done so long ago. Zhao Tianlong was enough. Judging from the situation this year, he could pass the imperial examinations. Therefore, the first branch should support Zhao Wenxing's separation instead of continuing to stand on Hua Chunhua's side. Before Hua Chunhua could continue, Feng Zhangxia said to Liang Jinxiao, Mom, there's nothing wrong with what fifth brother is doing. After all, he is marrying a woman. If fifth brother wants to separate from the family assets, old Zhao's family doesn't need to raise an outsider's child. Li Chuiying also said, That's right, Mom. I think we should follow fifth brother's suggestion. Our old Zhao family can't suffer a loss for nothing if fifth brother marries her. Mother, forget it, forget it. You also know fifth brother's temper. You can't stop him from doing anything. Instead of making yourself angry, it's better to follow fifth brother's heart. If fifth brother is like this, he won't cause trouble for our family. Zhao Yuner listened from the side and sighed in her heart. These people in old Zhao's family were all shrewd people. Once there were benefits, they would speak up for Zhao Wenxing. If there were no benefits to be gained from this, they would probably be following Liang Jinxiao's lead and making fun of him. Zhao Yuner felt that there was nothing wrong with Zhao Wenxing's approach. This was considered a better solution. In fact, he often didn't stay at old Zhao's house, so it didn't matter if he had his own room or not. As for the fields, Zhao Wenxing didn't know how to manage them himself, so he would definitely hand them over to someone else. He taught himself and had a stable income. In addition to the 20 taels of silver that he had previously earned, he had a stable income. His life certainly wouldn't be too poor. However, if Zhao Wenxing gave up these things, he could separate from old Zhao's family, and there would be a lot less troubles in the future. Zhao Baoshan sighed deeply. Lao Wu, you said it yourself. It's fine as long as you don't regret it in the future. But if we separate from the family assets, old Zhao's family won't help you with this wedding. Zhao Wenxing looked at Jin Suizhuan and asked for her opinion. As long as she was a woman, she would definitely look forward to a wedding. Zhao Wenxing didn't want Jin Suizhuan to suffer too much. Chapter 964. When Zhao Wenxing heard this, he was very touched. Suizhuan, believe me. I will definitely treat you well in the future. Zhao Wenxing promised Jin Suizhuan. Jin Suizhuan nodded her head heavily and responded. After Zhao Wenxing promised Jin Suizhuan, he said to Zhao Baoshan, Father, you can do whatever you want. I just want to be with Suizhuan. Zhao Baoshan was very helpless. Since that was the case, he could only do this. Too many things had happened recently, and Zhao Baoshan was beginning to feel annoyed. So he sat on the stool and began to smoke the tobacco in his hand. As the smoke drifted in the air, the originally depressed mood became slightly better. Chunhua wanted to say something, but she swallowed it back. Now she did not want to say a word to Zhao Wenxing. This brat really hurt her heart. Leave tonight. If there's nothing else, don't come back in the future. I'll treat it as if I didn't raise you as a son. After Chunhua finished speaking, she went into her house angrily. Zhao Wenxing sighed on the spot. He took Jin Suizhuan's hand and prepared to rush back to the town later. In fact, when they came back, they only wanted to talk about the matter. They did not plan to spend the night. Jin Suizhuan's child was still taken care of by the neighbor next door. It was okay for her to help look after the child for a while, but she could not help to look after the child forever. Seeing that Zhao Wenxing was about to leave, Zhao Yun'er called out to Zhao Wenxing, Fifth uncle, it's not easy for you to come back. Come into our house and rest for a while. Drink some water while you're at it. Zhao Wenxing met Zhao Yun'er's smiling face and nodded. Okay. With that, Zhao Wenxing pulled Jin Suizhuan along. When they reached the third house, Zhao Yun'er poured a glass of water for Zhao Wenxing and Jin Suizhuan. She called out to Jin Suizhuan affectionately, Fifth aunt, come and drink some water. Don't be shy. Jin Suizhuan was a little embarrassed when Zhao Yun'er directly called her fifth aunt. Her ears turned slightly red. She took the water from Zhao Yun'er and said to Zhao Yun'er, Thank you. Zhao Yun'er waved her hand. Fifth aunt, you're too polite. Seeing Zhao Yun'er calling her fifth aunt so intimately and naturally, it seemed that Zhao Yun'er really recognized her as fifth aunt. Jin Suizhuan was touched. She thought about how old Zhao's family had humiliated her before and compared it with Zhao Yun'er's current state. They were obviously a family, so why was there such a big difference? With such a strong contrast, Liang Jinxiao liked Zhao Yun'er even more. After Zhao Wenxing drank the water, his complexion was still not very good. Zhao Yun'er asked with a smile, Fifth uncle, are you unhappy? Zhao Wenxing was struck dumb for a second, then sighed. Well, your grandpa and grandma. Zhao Yun'er curled the corners of her mouth and comforted him. Fifth uncle, don't think about what grandpa, grandma and the others said. Just treat them as farts. Now you can be with the future fifth aunt, don't you think so? Zhao Wenxing still sighed. Well, although we're together, it's too unfair for Suizhuan if we don't even have a formality. Which girl didn't want to be married in a proper way and be married off in a grand and glorious manner? They didn't even have a wedding ceremony, so it was nothing for them to be together. They were just like lovers. They didn't have a status, so they weren't officially husband and wife. Chapter 965. Jin Suizhuan could say that she didn't care, but Zhao Wenxing felt guilty in his heart. He didn't want Jin Suizhuan to be wronged at all, so he had to hold a decent wedding ceremony. But now, it seemed that it was impossible. Zhao Yun'er laughed lightly. Uncle Wu, there's nothing to worry about. Since Grandpa and Grandma won't hold a wedding ceremony for you, we'll hold one for you. My house will be built in less than a month. After it's built, fifth uncle and fifth aunt's wedding can be held in my new house. At that time it will be more glamorous. Zhao Wenxing's eyes lit up when he heard that. He asked Zhao Yun'er, Yun'er, can we really do that? Why not? Uncle Wu, don't worry. When the time comes, I'll help you with this matter. Great. That's great. Haha, but Uncle Wu, there's one thing that you did very quickly. How did Aunt Wu get pregnant so soon? Being teased by Zhao Yuna like that, Zhao Wenxing and Jin Suizhuan both felt very shy and embarrassed. In fact, the two of them had been together for a long time, and they got along very well with each other. Therefore, after Zhao Wenxing's confession, it was easy for sparks to fly between them. As a result, Jin Suizhuan's stomach naturally became pregnant. Liang Jinxiao also came over at this time. Haha, Brother Wu, congratulations. After all, your future marriage has been decided, and you'll be a father soon. I only hope that sister-in-law can be pregnant with a boy, so that your family will have descendants. Zhao Wenxing smiled at Liang Jinxiao. Thank you, sister-in-law. Don't mention it. Why don't you have dinner before you leave? I'll go and cook some good food for you. Zhao Wenxing shook his head. Thank you for your kindness, sister-in-law, but Suizhuan and I have to leave after a while. We still have to rush back to the town. If we eat dinner, it will probably be dark by the time we get back to town. Suizhuan's 2 children are still being taken care of by others. We have to go back early to take care of the children. After Zhao Wenxing's explanation, Liang Jinxiao did not force him to stay. Zhao Wenxing and Jin Suizhuan continued to sit at the third branch's place for a short while before returning. Zhao Yuner took a set of Zhao Wenhua's clothes and left. When she returned to her room, she pushed the door open and saw Yili taking off all his clothes. Zhao Yuner screamed in fright. She hadn't noticed and had seen everything. Then she quickly closed her eyes and said to Yili, "Why did you take off your clothes for no reason?" Yili felt a little guilty. "I'm sorry, Yuner. I just wanted to check my injuries. I didn't expect you to come back so suddenly." Zhao Yuner sighed. She couldn't blame him. Speaking of which, she was the one who had seen his body. She should have taken advantage of him. After all, Yili was such a handsome man. Many people probably wanted to see his body. "Alright, don't say sorry. It's fine. You can change into this set of clothes first," Zhao Yuner said and threw the clothes in her hand to him. Then she reminded Yili, "Next time when you change into this set of clothes, you must close the door tightly." This time it was his upper body that was good looking. In fact, there was nothing to see. But if he took off his pants and she saw the thing below, it would be really bad. Yili replied, "Okay, Yuner, I got it." Chapter 966. Zhao Yuner had accidentally seen Mu Lianfeng's private part before, and she was still traumatized. If Mu Lianfeng were to find out that she had looked at a man's crotch, even if it was an accident, he would definitely be extremely jealous with his character. Yili answered, "Okay, Yuner, I got it." When Yili was about to put on his clothes, Mulan came to his house. The moment she pushed the door open, she saw Yili's naked upper body. Mulan had the same reaction as Zhao Yuner. She screamed at first but didn't move her eyes away from Yili's body. Instead, she continued to stare at Yili's body. Yili felt embarrassed being stared at by Mulan, and he hurriedly put on his clothes. Mulan blinked her eyes, then realized what was going on. Zhao Yuner really admired Mulan. She was such a lustful woman. She wasn't shy at all when she stared at another man's naked body. Zhao Yuner really wanted to ask Mulan. Wasn't she afraid that Zhu Eru would be jealous if he found out? Mulan cleared her throat and said to Zhao Yuner, "Yuner, what are you doing?" Zhao Yuner hurriedly said, "Mulan, don't get me wrong. There's nothing going on between us." Mulan didn't believe her. She looked at Zhao Yuner and Yili from head to toe, then said, "Yuner, no matter what, you can't be so impulsive. I know that Lord Yi is a good man, but..." Zhao Yuner looked at Mulan helplessly. "Can't you stop imagining things like this?" Zhao Yuner found that the hole in Mulan's brain was really not ordinary. "Mulan, don't get me wrong. What are you thinking? Am I that kind of person?" Mulan shook her head. "Yuner, I believe you. You're definitely not that kind of person." Zhao Yuner was about to say, "That's enough." Mulan added, "Well, Mr. Yi is such a stunningly handsome man, so it's normal for him to be seduced by her sometimes." The corner of Zhao Yuner's mouth twitched, and a few black lines appeared on her forehead. She was completely convinced by Mulan's words. There was nothing serious, but she made it sound like there was something serious. Yili, who was sitting on the mattress on the floor, looked even more embarrassed. Because Mulan's words made it easy for people to think that he was seducing Zhao Yuner. Although he likes Zhao Yuner, he's a gentleman in the end. He knows that Zhao Yuner already has a husband, so seducing this kind of thing is definitely not something he can do. "Mulan, come here." Zhao Yuner waved at Mulan. Zhao Yuner was confused, but she still walked to Zhao Yuner and asked, "Yuner, what's wrong?" Zhao Yuner smiled, reached out her hand and touched Mulan's forehead. Mulan looked at Zhao Yuner in confusion. Yuner, what's wrong? I just want to see whether you're sick or not. Mulan was struck dumb for a second, then said to Zhao Yuner aggrievedly, Yuner, you said that on purpose, didn't you? Yes, what are you thinking? There's nothing between Yi Li and me. We didn't do anything, so don't think too much. Like you, I suddenly barged in and saw him taking off his clothes. Mulan nodded. Only then did she look like she understood. Chapter 967. However, it's really inconvenient for Mr. Yi to stay here. I don't have any extra rooms in my house. Why don't you stay in my house? Zhao Yuner shook her head. Forget it. It's safer for him to stay in my house. Even if you have extra rooms in your house, I don't want him to stay in my house. The more people see him, the more dangerous it will be. Mulan nodded. She felt that Zhao Yuner was right. If there were more people, Yi Li's whereabouts would be revealed. It was a very sensitive period now. The government was arresting people and the wanted list was posted in the village. Therefore, almost everyone in the village knew about it. If it was seen by the villagers, they would definitely sell the news of Yi Li for the reward, not to mention other things. Yi Li listened to the conversation between Zhao Yuner and Mulan. He looked at Zhao Yuner apologetically. I'm sorry for causing you trouble. Mulan realized that she shouldn't have said that to Zhao Yuner in front of her. She hurriedly waved her hand. Mr. Yi, you misunderstood me. In fact, I didn't mean to hurt you. Don't think too much about it. You just need to recover from your injuries first. Sure. Yi Li nodded, but he had other thoughts in his mind. Zhao Yuner made some food for Yi Li in advance for dinner. Then she went to the third branch's house to have dinner with them. In 5 days, Zhao Pinger would be married. Zhao Yuner was a little excited at the thought of it. Yuner, let's go and get Pinger's custom-made wedding dress tomorrow, Liang Jinxiao said. As early as a few days ago, when Zhao Yuner went to Red Jade Villa, Liang Jinxiao, under Zhao Pinger's request, specially found a clothing shop to make a set of clothes for Zhao Pinger. This set of clothes cost 1 tael of silver. After all, it was her first time getting married. Every girl would want to dress up beautifully, and Zhao Pinger was no exception. However, under normal circumstances, the villagers were all poor. How could they have the spare money to make a wedding dress? They would just wear a bright red dress when they got married. Only the daughters of landlords or those who had some extra money and wanted to marry their daughters off would consider making a set of wedding clothes. Only after Zhao Yuner's incident did she know that Liang Jinxiao had spent the money for Zhao Pinger. She felt a burst of pain in her heart. With Zhao Pinger's appearance, even if the wedding dress was beautiful, it would be a waste to wear it on her. Okay, mother. Zhao Yuner responded. When Zhao Pinger heard this, she was exceptionally excited. Mother, then hurry back tomorrow. Hehe, I want to change into it quickly and see if it looks good on me. Zhao Yuner rolled her eyes. She didn't know when Zhao Pinger would be able to realize it. While Zhao Pinger was daydreaming, she pulled Liang Jinxiao's hand and said coquettishly, Mother, can you bring some rouge and silk flowers back for me? I also need to dress myself up. Pinger, don't waste the money. Rouge is not cheap. It won't look good on your face at all. You'd better save the money. Zhao Yuner said sarcastically. Zhao Yuner, what do you mean? Zhao Pinger stared at Zhao Yuner angrily, as if a basin of cold water had been poured on her. Zhao Yuner's mouth hooked up and smiled. Sister Pinger, what's wrong with you? Can't you understand human language now? You bitch, what do you mean? Chapter 968. Mom, look at what Zhao Pinger is saying. She's too much. Mom, please scold her. Zhao Yuner grabbed Liang Jinxiao's hand, shook it, and begged. Liang Jinxiao had a headache. Everything was fine. Why did she make a fuss again? Liang Jinxiao comforted her. Pinger, Yuner is right. These things are expensive. Didn't I buy some for you before? Why do you want new ones when you haven't used them up? Mom, there's not much left. It'll be used up in a while. Mom, I'm about to get married. Why are you unwilling to give me such a small amount of money? Liang Jinxiao couldn't help but frown because of Zhao Pinger. Alas, this girl really? Seeing that Liang Jinxiao was about to agree with Zhao Pinger, Zhao Yuner couldn't help but say, Zhao Pinger, it's easy for you to say. I spent a lot of money on you. You don't earn a penny, but you're shameless enough to ask for things. Being humiliated by Zhao Yuner, Zhao Pinger blushed and almost fought with Zhao Yuner. All right, Pinger, don't make a fuss. You're going to get married in a few days. Don't make a fuss or the wound on your face will be worse. The swelling on your face hasn't gone down yet. Have a good rest these few days and you'll look better when you get married. Hearing Liang Jinxiao's words, Zhao Ping'er touched her face. She still remembered the pain she had suffered from Zhao Yun'er last time. If she was taught a lesson by Zhao Yun'er again, wouldn't she become a pig's head? Zhao Ping'er endured the grievance in her heart. In order to not look too ugly when she got married, she decided to forget about it. Zhao Ping'er glared at Zhao Yun'er angrily, then sat aside. Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Yun'er discussed the things they still needed to buy. Zhao Ping'er would buy the things she needed for the wedding banquet later. After all, those vegetables, meat and other things would go bad if they were bought too early. As for the wedding candies, peanuts and melon seeds, they had already bought some dowry furniture, wash bowls and other things which had to be prepared in 2 days. Zhao Yun'er and Liang Jinxiao chatted for a while. Zhao Tianan came back from the land ahead of time. "Mom, can you give me some candies?" Zhao Tianan asked shyly. Liang Jinxiao thought that Zhao Tianan wanted to eat, so she nodded. "You child, don't be shy about your own things. Mom will get them for you." "Thank you, Mom." Zhao Tianan thanked her. Seeing that Zhao Tianan wanted to go out with candies in his hand, Zhao Yun'er was a little curious. Her brother obviously didn't want to eat them. Could it be that he wanted to give them to Ma Xiaofeng? If that was the case, Zhao Yun'er could only say that her brother didn't want to give up on Ma Xiaofeng. Zhao Yun'er was curious, so she went out to take a look. Then she saw a familiar figure standing outside. This person wasn't Ma Xiaofeng but Mu Hin. The moment she saw Mu Hin, Zhao Yun'er felt relieved. In fact, she didn't object to Zhao Tianan being with anyone, as long as it wasn't a scheming woman like Ma Xiaofeng who might mess up their family. Their family's life finally got better, and they didn't want it to be like old Zhao's family before they separated. Seeing that her brother was suddenly so close to Mu Hin, Zhao Yun'er was very happy. Chapter 969. In addition, Mu Hin's sister was Mu Lan, who had a good relationship with him. Compared to people like Chen Chuanxiu, she was definitely much better. Now, if Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin were together, it was estimated that Zhao Tianan would slowly fall in love with Mu Hin. With a new girl, he would naturally forget about Ma Xiaofeng. Of course, this was something that Zhao Yun'er was happy to see. Zhao Tianan walked in front of Mu Hin. Mu Hin's face was full of shyness. She lowered her head and was a little embarrassed to look at Zhao Tianan. If Zhao Tianan didn't force her to come, she probably wouldn't have come. "This is candy. I specially brought it for you. You can eat it." Zhao Tianan took out the candy from his pocket and handed it to Mu Hin. The reason why he went home specially to give Mu Hin candy was that during his chat with Mu Hin, he found out that Mu Hin had never eaten candy before. It wasn't that Mu Hin's family didn't have candy, but Mu Hin was a girl and was very disliked in the Mu family. Therefore, even if there were candy at home, she wouldn't have a share. She couldn't eat it. Mu Hin didn't expect that Zhao Tianan would remember her casual mention. Zhao Tianan said that he had candy at home and could take some out for her to try. Mu Hin couldn't resist Zhao Tianan's enthusiasm at all, so she had to be dragged over by Zhao Tianan. However, Mu Hin's heart was still very touched because there were too few people who were so good to her since she was a child. "Thank you." Mu Hin took it with some embarrassment and said to Zhao Tianan. Looking at Mu Hin's faint smile, Zhao Tianan felt that Mu Hin was very charming. Actually, Mu Hin's looks were not that stunning, but he gave people a comfortable feeling. Looking at Mu Hin's smile, Zhao Tianan felt a sweetness in his heart. "You're welcome," Zhao Tianan said with a smile. In fact, after he heard about Mu Hin's experience in the Mu clan, he sympathized with him. Her previous life was even worse than the third branches in old Zhao's house. Zhao Tianan knew the feeling of being bullied by family members. Mu Hin was so pitiful, so Zhao Tianan felt that no matter what, he had to treat Mu Hin better. This girl was too pitiful and needed to be loved. "Hurry up and eat. Let's see what it tastes like," Zhao Tianan urged. "I don't want to eat them. Why don't we keep them?" Mu Hin said in a weak voice. In fact, she wanted to keep some to take back because her older sister had several children in her home. These candies could be given to those children. Children all like to eat candies. As an adult, it was fine for her to eat less. "Eat them. If you run out, I have more at home. I'll get more for you," Zhao Tianan said with a smile. Zhao Tianan said as if he was afraid that Mu Xian wouldn't eat it. He took a piece of candy, peeled off the candy wrapper and put it in front of Mu Xian's mouth. He said to Mu Xian, "Eat it." Since the candy was already in front of her mouth, there was no reason for Mu Hin not to eat it. She looked at Zhao Tianan a little shyly, then swallowed the candy in the end. "It's delicious and sweet. Mu Hin said to Zhao Tianan in a low voice with her cheeks flushed because of shyness. It was the first time that Mu Hin had eaten candy. The candy tasted really good and it was sweet when it entered her mouth. Eat more if you like it. If you want to eat more, just tell me. I'll get more for you, Zhao Tianan said with a smile. Chapter 970. Zhao Tianan also smiled shyly. I'm not a good person either. Of course you're a good person. No one has ever been so nice to me. Then I'll treat you even better in the future, Zhao Tianan said to Mu Hin as if he was making a promise. He did have this idea in his heart. In his opinion, Mu Hin was really too pitiful. If he didn't treat this girl better, who would treat her better? Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin didn't know that their intimate scene was not only seen by Zhao Yun'er, but also by Ma Xiaofeng, who was not far away. Ma Xiaofeng saw that Zhao Tianan had been ignoring her these days, and she couldn't accept it in her heart. She originally planned to put Zhao Tianan aside for a few days, thinking that Zhao Tianan would miss her and couldn't wait to find her again. At that time she could manipulate Zhao Tianan. Who knew that Zhao Tianan didn't even come to find her after not seeing her for a few days? Ma Xiaofeng felt depressed when she thought about it. Why was it so different from what she had expected? Could it be that Zhao Tianan really didn't like her anymore? Even if he had a change of heart, it shouldn't be so fast, right? It was precisely because of this thought that Ma Xiaofeng felt that she couldn't continue to stay at home and do nothing. If Zhao Tianan didn't come to find her, she would go to Zhao Tianan. Things were different now. If it were in the past, she could continue to ignore Zhao Tianan. Now there was Mu Hin. With Mu Hin strolling in front of Zhao Tianan all day long and seducing Zhao Tianan would be easily bewitched, and it would be easy for him to be with Mu Hin in the future. Ma Xiaofeng felt that she wasn't stupid enough to let Zhao Tianan go. After all, Zhao Yun'er's family's conditions were there. If they missed this opportunity, there wouldn't be another one. Therefore, when she saw Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin's intimate actions, a sense of danger rose in Ma Xiaofeng's heart. Jealousy welled up in his heart. Ma Xiaofeng bit her lower lip and glared hatefully in the direction of Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin. In Ma Xiaofeng's opinion, the reason why Zhao Tianan acted like this was because Mu Hin, the shameless bitch, was shamelessly sticking to Zhao Tianan. She had to think of a solution. She couldn't let it continue like this. If this continued, it was likely that Zhao Tianan would really fall in love with Mu Hin. Ma Xiaofeng clenched his fists, took a deep breath, and called in the direction of Zhao Tianan. Tianan, hearing Ma Xiaofeng's voice, Zhao Tianan was stunned. Zhao Yun'er heard it and couldn't help but frown. Ma Xiaofeng. She was like a troublemaker again. It wasn't easy for her younger brother to have some feelings for Mu Hin. She couldn't let Zhao Tianan ruin it. However, Zhao Yun'er didn't want to get involved. She had to see how her younger brother would deal with it. Only Zhao Tianan could handle it himself. Zhao Tianan never expected that Ma Xiaofeng would come to his house. He thought that Ma Xiaofeng must have seen the intimate scene between him and Mu Hin and misunderstood something. He couldn't help but feel a little worried. Then he thought about it. What was he worried about? Since he didn't intend to be with Ma Xiaofeng in the future, even if Ma Xiaofeng misunderstood him, it didn't matter. Chapter 971. Zhao Tianan didn't want to go over, but he heard Ma Xiaofeng calling him again. Tianan. Seeing Zhao Tianan frowning, Mu Xian wondered if there was a problem between Zhao Tianan and Ma Xiaofeng, and if this problem was related to her, so she was a bit worried. Tianan, they're calling you. You should go over now. I need to go back now. Mu Hin felt that she was an eyesore in front of Zhao Tianan and Ma Xiaofeng, so she directly left. Zhao Tianan sighed looking at Mu Hin's back, then looked at Ma Xiaofeng. In the end, Zhao Tianan still walked towards Ma Xiaofeng. He wanted to know why Ma Xiaofeng came to see him. Ma Xiaofeng was happy to see Zhao Tianan walking towards her. When Zhao Tianan was right in front of her, she called out to Zhao Tianan happily, Tianan. Zhao Tianan frowned a little, then said to Ma Xiaofeng, Xiaofeng, why did you come to my house? Ma Xiaofeng sounded a little aggrieved. Tianan, I didn't find you on your property, so I came to find you. Why did you come to see me? Zhao Tianan asked in a gentle tone. After all, he couldn't ignore Ma Xiaofeng all of a sudden. Tianan, why didn't you come to see me for so long? I missed you so much. Didn't you miss me? Ma Xiaofeng looked at Zhao Tianan with a pitiful look. If an ordinary person saw this, they would definitely feel a trace of pity. Zhao Tianan's heart trembled when he heard Ma Xiaofeng's words. Ma Xiaofeng's words made Zhao Tianan feel indescribable. How could he not miss her? But every time he missed her, he would control himself because it was meaningless. Instead, it made him feel miserable. Unless he could earn 50 taels of silver, he would have a chance to talk to Ma Xiaofeng again. He didn't want to waste his time. However, when Zhao Tianan didn't respond, Ma Xiaofeng thought Zhao Tianan didn't miss her. Ma Xiaofeng panicked. If Zhao Tianan didn't miss her, then he might really have a change of heart. How could that be? If Zhao Tianan didn't like her, she couldn't marry into the Zhao family. In the whole village, no, in the whole town, there was no better family than Zhao Yun'er. Ma Xiaofeng understood that once Zhao Yun'er married into the prince's mansion and became the princess consort, the Zhao family would be extraordinary in the future. Tianan, do you like Mu Hin? Tianan, don't be fooled by her. She's not a good woman. You don't know what the people in the village say about her. She even seduced her own brother-in-law. This kind of woman is too disgusting. She's definitely not sincere to you. Ma Xiaofeng said to Zhao Tianan anxiously. Zhao Tianan looked at Ma Xiaofeng like he didn't know her. In his impression, Ma Xiaofeng wasn't that kind of person. How could she say that? He knew the rumors in the village, but after interacting with Mu Hin, Zhao Tianan knew that Mu Hin wasn't that kind of person. Xiaofeng, I know what you're saying. There's nothing between me and Mu Hin, but I believe that Mu Hin isn't that kind of person. You just don't know her. Tianan, you. Chapter 972. Zhao Yun'er heaved a sigh of relief when she saw that her younger brother was no longer a fool. Ma Xiaofeng that B*Tsh made Zhao Yun'er angry when she heard what she said. She originally thought that Zhao Tianan had been persuaded by Ma Xiaofeng. Mu Hin was such a good girl. As her younger brother, she couldn't give up so easily. Fortunately, Zhao Tianan didn't listen to what Ma Xiaofeng said. Zhao Yun'er had a simple meal at the third branch's house for dinner. Then she brought some dinner for Yili. The next day she brought Zhao Ping'er's wedding dress back from Yang City. The bright red wedding dress looked very dazzling and beautiful. However, when she thought about wearing it on Zhao Ping'er, Zhao Yun'er felt that it was really a waste of beautiful clothes. As for the wash basin, boxes and other furniture, Zhao Yun'er and Liang Jinxiao went to the store to buy them. These things didn't cost much, only a few hundred copper coins. Yun'er, do you want to make a set of your wedding dress first? Liang Jinxiao asked. She was more concerned about Zhao Yun'er's marriage. Zhao Yun'er didn't know when she would marry Mu Lianfeng, so there was no hurry to make the wedding dress. No need, mother. I'm not in a hurry. Liang Jinxiao sighed slightly. Child, if you can get married soon, you should discuss it with the heir apparent. Don't delay it. Zhao Yun'er nodded. I know, mother. You don't have to worry about this. I know what to do. That's good. When they returned to old Zhao's house, Zhao Yun'er's second aunt, second uncle, and Zhao Yun'er's other unmarried cousin, Su Lady, came together. Zhao Yun'er originally thought that her second aunt wouldn't come. She didn't expect that her second aunt wouldn't come until the end. This time she didn't come alone. It was a family of 3. Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but wonder if they came specially to freeload. Once they arrived at old Zhao's courtyard, Liang Jinfen exclaimed, Eldest sister, I'm here. Zhao Yun'er and Liang Jinxiao both walked out. Second sister, brother-in-law, and lady, you're all here? Liang Jinxiao. Su Dashan also greeted Liang Jinxiao. Yes, eldest sister. Su Lady also walked up to Liang Jinxiao and greeted Liang Jinxiao, eldest aunt. Hearing Su Lady's crisp greeting, Liang Jinxiao also smiled and responded, Lady, you've grown taller and more beautiful. After all, Liang Jinfen and Liang Jinxiao's families didn't interact much, so Liang Jinxiao didn't see this niece of his. In the past few years the child had grown up a lot, so the changes were also great. I'm so tired after walking such a long distance. Sai, eldest sister, your house is really far away. We've walked for so long and finally arrived. My feet are probably going to be covered in blisters. Liang Jinfen grumbled. After Liang Jinfen finished speaking, Su Lady also patted her own legs, looking very tired. Liang Jinxiao hurriedly called out, Second sister, brother-in-law, hurry up and rest in the house. Then have a glass of water. Liang Jinfen responded faintly. Zhao Yun'er really couldn't stand it anymore. Her second aunt was really interesting. Did she really think of herself as a rich lady? She had only walked a short distance and was already complaining. Chapter 973. Zhao Yun'er's sarcasm made Liang Jinfen very unhappy. She reprimanded Zhao Yun'er, what do you mean by that? So what if I'm tired after walking for so long? So what if your parents aren't tired? So what if I'm tired? Eldest sister, look at your good daughter. How can she talk to her elders like that? She's so insensible. Liang Jinxiao frowned. Why did they suddenly quarrel again? She was in the middle and could only comfort them. Second sister, don't argue with Yun. She doesn't mean anything. She really doesn't know the rules at all. We're guests, so just treat us well. She doesn't know the rules. Fortunately, she's one of us. If it were someone else, I don't know what they'd say. They'd probably say she has no manners. As Liang Jinfen spoke, she reminded Su Lady, Lady, you mustn't be like your cousin Yun, okay? Su Lady answered weakly. Zhao Yun looked at Liang Jinfen as if she was looking at an idiot. It was a waste of breath to argue with an idiot. Hence, she sneered and replied, Second aunt, it's my business that I have no manners. You don't have to worry about this. Liang Jinfen choked with anger. She didn't have much energy left, so she didn't have the strength to quarrel with Zhao Yun. It was better to go into the house to rest and catch her breath. After entering the house of the third branch, she began to nitpick. Eldest sister, why is your house so small? It's so dark. Liang Jinxiao smiled helplessly and said, Eldest sister, hasn't my house always been like this? It's so uncomfortable to stay in this house. Liang Jinfen muttered again. She didn't know if she was deliberately nitpicking. Liang Jinfen's words made Liang Jinxiao extremely embarrassed. She didn't know what to say. Second sister, just make do with it and rest for a while. This house is too small and run down. I can't do anything about it, can I? Liang Jinxiao persuaded. Her new house hadn't been built yet. If it was built, it wouldn't be like this. She also wanted to move into the new house earlier, but there was a process involved. It's true. It's your fault that your family is poor. Liang Jinfen said sarcastically. Liang Jinxiao smiled sheepishly. Second sister, my family's house is better than yours. Yours or your house is your house. Your family is rich and can't live houses is. I know, big sister, let's rest. You and Yun can go and cook. Alright, since we're here today, you have to prepare some delicious food for us. It can't be too shabby. Okay. Looking at Liang Jinfen's expression, Zhao Yun really wanted to slap her. How could there be such an annoying person? She really regretted it. If she had known that Liang Jinfen would be like this when she came to her house, she wouldn't have let her come. What kind of person did she think she was? Great, now that she came to her house, she acted like an ancestor and asked people to serve her. Yun felt unhappy just thinking about it. Let's go, Yun. Let's go and cook. Liang Jinxiao called out to Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun nodded. Compared to staying in the house and looking at Liang Jinfen, she was more willing to go to the kitchen and cook. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.